Welcome to the movie Lair. Lights low, screens glow, real news in the air. Welcome to the movie Lair. From Marvel to DC, every frame gets shared. Welcome to the movie Lair. No cap, no spin, just cinema flair. If it's film or TV, yeah, you know we there. Welcome to the movie Lair. Welcome to the movie Lair. Welcome to the yeah. Welcome to the movie Lair. Yeah. Welcome to the movie Lair. We report the facts and the rumors, just keeping it square. Welcome to the movie Lair. Welcome to the movie Lair. Lights low, screens glow, real news in the air. Welcome to the movie Lair. From Marvel to DC, every frame gets shared. Welcome to the movie Lair. No cap, no spin, just cinema flair. If it's film or TV, yeah, you know we there. Welcome to the movie Lair. Welcome to the Lair. Welcome to the movie Lair. We report the facts and the rumors, just keeping it square. Welcome to the movie Lair. Welcome to the movie Lair. Welcome to the Lair. Welcome to the movie Lair. Welcome to the Lair. Welcome to the movie Lair. Welcome to the Lair. Welcome to the movie Lair. We report the facts and the rumors, just keeping it square. Welcome to the movie Lair. Welcome to the movie Lair. Welcome to the Lair. Welcome to the movie Lair. Welcome to the Lair. Yeah. Welcome to the movie Lair. Welcome to the movie Lair. Lights low, screen glow, real news in the air. Welcome to the movie Lair. From Marvel to DC, every frame each share. Welcome to the movie Lair. No cat, no spin, just cinema slayer. It's full TV, ain't no we air. Welcome to the movie Lair. Welcome to the Lair. Welcome to the Lair. We report the facts and the rumors, just keeping this plan. Welcome to the movie Lair.
What up, y'all? Ooh, if y'all here tonight, we got a good one tonight, y'all. I think we got a good show tonight. We got some Marvel news, and there's some juicy news, too. I'm excited. I think we gonna have a good old show tonight, man. But if you are here, make yourself known in the chat. Let me see who all checking in with me. I even got my Doom shirt on today. We gonna talk about a little Doomsday. We got a little Black Panther. We gonna be talking about everything now. Y'all know how the show go. First half, we're gonna do a couple general movie news stories. Then at the end, a lot of Marvel. But it really ain't gonna be no end today because I really only have like 3 or 4 general movie news stories, and then the whole rest of the stream is just Marvel stuff. So I think we're going to have a good Marvel show today. I appreciate everybody for always hanging out with me. Lauren said, what's the mess? Oh, we got some mess. Nah, man, I just want to talk about, all the stuff that's going on with Marvel that dropped this week. We was in the chat over there with Planet Fanatics, them, kind of laughing with the whole Black Panther stuff. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Nisha said, hey, everyone. What up, Nisha? Thanks for checking in with me every week. I appreciate it. Lauren said, got my garlic and lemon pepper wings ready. Yes. I think we're going to have a good old show today, man. So much Marvel news dropped this week. We haven't been having a lot of Marvel stuff to talk about, but I think we got some stuff to kind of get into. So I'm excited. I think we're going to have a good show. But other than that, hope everybody is having a great day. I mean, if y'all are catching me on the replay gang, thank y'all for checking in on the replay gang. Leave a comment. Let me know you was here. S. Jaddick says, rip to Marcia Lucas. Who is Marcia Lucas? Marcia Lucas. Oh, yeah, this just happened a couple hours ago. Okay, the wife of George Lucas. Okay. S. Jaddick, it's your time to shine, buddy. We got Black Panther news, S. Jaddick. Oh, Lauren said, damn, she had to see Star Wars go out like that. Look, y'all know I'm not a Star Wars girly, so I'm not really in the mix on that. I mean, they said she the ex-wife. Was she still kind of plugged in with the Star Wars universe after, George divorced her and they got a divorce? Talking about his ex-wife before he got chocolate. I don't know. S. Jaddick, I am happy you are here because I just know you just gonna talk a lot of trash during the Black Panther segment, and I got my skin built up for all the drama you gonna cause. I'm prepared for you today, S. Jaddick. I know you gonna have things to say about Black Panther, but I have things to say about Black Panther too. If y'all follow me on Twitter, y'all saw how I felt when they talking about they looking at Lakeith Stansfield for T'Challa or Black Panther or whatever. That was the craziest thing I seen all week. I said, what is going on? Why are we looking at Lakeith Stanfield to be a Black Panther? That was crazy. Lauren said yesterday they were tussling. Oh, shout out to the boys over at Planet Fanatics, man. They are an entertaining panel to watch. And shout out to the fellas over at the Mutant Academy. They had me on their show yesterday, and we talked about some Marvel stuff. And I told them boys over at the Mutant Academy they need to get their YouTube page up and running. They over there on Twitter Spaces. We got to get them boys on YouTube. S. Jaddick says, hey, look, I caught some of that Planet Fanatic stuff. I agree with your viewpoint, Tina and Darius, on what Coogler will do if left up to his own devices. Some of this stuff ain't got nothing to do with Coogler. I don't think Coogler is looking to cast Lakeith Stanfield as Black Panther. I think that's more indicative on Marvel. Oh, like I was just like, what? All right, y'all. We already how many minutes in? 8 minutes in. We finna get into it. Everybody else, when they get here, they'll kind of get caught in when they get in. But y'all know I don't like to do long shows, but this might be a long show because we got a lot of stuff to get into this show. Y'all know I don't like to do long shows, but we finna get this bad boy started. Let's go. Let me take my earrings out. They hurt when you have the headphones on. But yeah, hope everybody is having a great Friday. And we finna get this thing rocking and rolling. Whoops. All right. Let's get this thing going. So, what up, y'all? Tina here with the movie Lair, and we are on episode 20 of 2026. And we got a lot of Marvel stuff to get into. The XMen 97 Season 2 trailer dropped. We heard some Black Panther rumors rumbling around. What else we got? Doomsday toy leaks, Spider-Man news. But before we get into all of the Marvel stuff, we're going to hit some general movie news. We're going to talk about Michael Jackson. We got our first little sneak peek at A Different World reboot and some other stuff. But yeah, man. Let's get this thing going, man. Shout out to the celebrity dockets, too. That's my homie. She be covering legal cases. Y'all follow her on YouTube. Follow her on Twitter if you are into legal cases, for sure. And if I don't see y'all comments, it might be because we can't be here for 5 hours. You know, if you want to get your stuff bumped up, send me a super chat. I'm going to try to answer as many comments as possible. Y'all know sometimes we'll sit in here and we'll talk, but it's so much I got to go over today. If I don't catch your comments, don't get to cussing me out. You know, y'all know how y'all get. Y'all get to acting real funny. Okay. All right, let's get into the first topic. All right. So, Mahershala Ali and Nia DaCosta are teaming up for the first time on a new movie called Driver, and this one sounds intense. So Mahershala Ali is reportedly playing a Nigerian smuggler who has lost everything, and after all of that, he accepts one final job, transporting migrants across Africa while trying to outrun ruthless enemies. Y'all know I told y'all a while back, Mahershala Ali said he got this action itch that he really want to get out. That's why he really wanted to do Blade, and that's why when you look at a lot of these movies that he's taking now, they're kind of like, they're not full-blown action movies, but they're kind of like semi-action movies. So this sounds like, yeah, he's going to be trying to get people to safety, but he's also going to have people on his back. And, you know what I'm saying? I like this pairing because Mahershala Ali is at his best when he's playing characters that carry pain and silence and survival all at the same time. You give him a role like this where his character has a past burden and one last mission, that sounds like something he can really get into. And I'm happy that he teamed up with Nia DaCosta. You know, we got our formal Marvel family here getting to work. I'm curious to see how she handles this. It doesn't sound like it's just a regular action movie. This sounds like survival, desperation, and consequences. So they said filming is supposed to start January of 2027. But yeah, man, I am happy for the Marvel family. It didn't work out with Marvel, but they're doing their own thing. I like that. I like that. When one door closes, you got to move on. And it's mighty odd that all of the Marvel people are kind of teaming up outside of Marvel. They probably be sitting around talking shit about them. You know it. Y'all know Nia DaCosta and Mahershala Ali been chit-chatting about the Marvel drama. Y'all know how we are. She probably like, what happened with Blade? Because that's how I would be, messy. Is my mic low? I see that Celebrity Docket said turn it up. Is my mic low? Let me check. Is my mic low, y'all? I'll cut it up a little bit. I don't want it to be too loud where I'm like screaming in the mic either. All right, so yeah, man, that is the Mahershala Ali and Nia DaCosta movie called Driver. She said, Celebrity Docket said, no, it was a gift. Oh, okay, got it. All right, moving on to the next one. All right, so a new movie called Girl Dad is headed to the American Black Film Festival, and it stars Miss Martin. Y'all might remember her from Blackish, Marsai Martin, alongside Courtney B. Vance. But then you also got names like Michael Rainey Jr., Megan Good is in the mix too. And what this movie is about, Marsai plays this guarded queer teenager from Brooklyn who goes out to L.A. to spend some time with her estranged father, played by Courtney B. Vance. He an old daddy. She looked like she could be his granddaughter. But anyway, this movie is produced by Jamie Foxx, and y'all know last week we talked about people being mad that Sterling K. Brown was portrayed as a bad father in Is God Is. Now we have some positive representation. This sounds like Courtney B. Vance will be a positive father. So y'all make sure when this movie comes out that y'all are supporting this, because everybody wants positive films, and when they come out, don't nobody watch it. Because why y'all ain't seen I Love Boosters? And why y'all ain't go watch You, Me, and Tuscany? And why y'all ain't go watch Is God Is? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Y'all be wanting black content, but y'all don't go watch it. Y'all make sure y'all support now. Girl Dad, coming to you soon. I don't know if it's going to be in the movie theater or if it's going to be on streaming, but make sure y'all check it out. This looks like a positive movie about a dad trying to bond with his daughter. You know what I'm saying? I can understand that. I'm not really estranged from my father, but, sometimes we go, periods without speaking, and we got to try to figure out how to get that connection back going. Yeah, so make sure y'all check it out. Lauren said, Jonathan couldn't be the daddy. Wait, never mind. That little girl ain't mixed. Lauren said, looking at Chill. Yeah, Chill should be covering this now. Lauren said, You, Me, and Tuscany was not my jam. I liked it. It was kind of like, You, Me, and Tuscany kind of was just like corny rom-com. Like, some of the stuff was completely unbelievable, but I still liked it. Look, Megan Good is still working. Hopefully Jonathan get it together. One thing I don't like is Megan Good and Jonathan Majors has a TikTok, and she on her TikTok selling stuff from TikTok Shop. And I don't like that. We never had to see Megan Good get on the internet and push products. Now, damn it, they better tighten up over there. I don't like Miss Good looking like she ain't good. Now, come on, John. We gotta get it. We gotta get it going. Your girl out here working. You got to figure it out. All right. Next up. Lauren said, You mean the TikTok Temu shop? I don't know what it is. It came across my timeline. I'm like, what is Megan Good doing? Why is Megan Good selling stuff on TikTok? Let me stop. Because I never know when y'all might see me on TikTok having to sell stuff. Let me stop. I'm not judging. I just ain't never seen her had to do that before. She ain't have to get on TikTok and sell stuff when she was with the pastor. Okay? That Good ain't have to do that. So, maybe this is a down season. I want them to get back to the top now. I don't like my girl looking like that. It's bad enough you had to marry her in the backyard. Ain't even give her a real wedding, just like you woke up on a Tuesday and was like, I'm gonna do it. That rubbed me wrong too. This is Megan Good we talking about. I don't went all off topic, but yeah. Girl Dad is coming to you very soon. All right, so we got a little sneak peek of the main star of the Different World reboot, Deborah Wayne. She will be the daughter of Whitley and Dwayne Wade. So A Different World, the TV show, is coming out this fall, and I'm interested to kind of see where they take it. Interested to see where they go on this. I seen somebody say like, oh, they shouldn't be doing this. They just gonna make it super woke and hyper fixated on issues. Yeah, that's what the first one was kind of about. Like, did y'all not watch the first one? It was kind of like about issues while also showcasing how great HBCUs can be. So yeah, they're gonna tackle issues on this show. What people? I don't understand what people be talking about. They hope it don't be tackling like all these trendy issues. Yeah, they're gonna tackle the issues. But anyway, so Deborah Wayne is gonna be played by Malia Moon. She's a theater girl. She won a Tony in 2024. So we already know she got some acting chops. And then I saw some people was like, well, Whitley was pregnant in 1993. How was this girl only 18? It ain't the same damn baby. Come on, y'all. We got to use our common sense. Of course, this is not the baby she was pregnant with in 1993. You know what I'm saying? This is probably the second or third child. You know what I'm saying? This is probably the oops baby. It's probably like, oops, we didn't mean to do this. Damn, we too old to still be having kids. But I'm interested to kind of see the dynamic, because if she is, the youngest child, like, is she going to be dealing with pressures of, maybe she has an older brother or sister who went to the HBCU and now she has to deal with that? Is she going to be struggling being the baby child, or is she spoiled? Is she the spoiled baby child who's never had to do anything in her life, and when she gets to college, she gets hit with a big culture shock in her face, and she has to kind of try to learn how to do things without mommy and daddy being there? They can do this in a couple different ways. So I'm interested to see where they take this TV show, because we can go in a lot of different directions. Some of the other things I want to see them tackle, like hazing culture, financial aid, NIL deals. I want to see it all. Because in 2026, there's so many different paths you can go down, and I'm hyped. And what's interesting is, we kind of talked about this a couple weeks ago, they're bringing back almost everybody from the old cast, but then they're bringing in new faces. I think I seen somewhere that Method Man is in this. Tanisha Arnold, who plays Pam and Martin, she's in it, plus her daughter. So, man, I hope this is good. I hope Netflix does not ruin A Different World. Fingers crossed. I hope this is good. So, Yeah, man, our first look at Deborah Wayne, which is the daughter of Whitley and Dwayne Wade. We'll see how this goes. Lauren said, I'm seated after I uncancel my Netflix after they make the Michael Jackson doll. I mean, you got some time to do your boycott. If you cancel now, you can boycott from now up until September. So that's June, July, August. Damn, you ain't got but a 90-day boycott. Lawrence, you might as well just keep it. A 90-day boycott. Ain't a real boycott. But no, I'm with you. And I think you kind of walked us almost right into Michael. Michael's going to be not the next topic, but the one after that. Let's talk about Gabby. All right, so Gabby, our girl from Precious, Empire, American Horror Story, plus some other stuff she's played in. She has a new film in the works called Rose Moon, and it's a Southern Gothic drama. All right, so the film follows Rose King, a lonely North Carolina probation officer whose affair with a parolee spirals into obsession and placing her career at risk. So they said it's based on a true story, and Rose Moon will explore loneliness, desire, power, and faith through the identity of a middle-aged Black woman experiencing a late-life sexual awakening. Gabby, what you got going on? What we gonna be doing in this movie, Gabby? She said, every time there's a new story about a female correctional officer having a romantic entanglement with an inmate, I always wonder about the woman and say, what led her to those choices? Without judgment, I wonder why she would risk her livelihood, her safety, and more than anything, her freedom. So I get that. I get the premise of the movie, but what makes it a Gothic? Like, are there going to be, like, supernatural elements in the story? Like, where we kind of going with that? Let me tell y'all something. I know a guy, who was working in the jail, and he was sleeping with the inmates. I was like, boy, what are you doing? Child, somehow them folks found out, and they took his ass to jail. They don't play about that sleeping with them prisoners stuff. Don't be sleeping with them prisoners. If you are a CO, don't be sleeping with them prisoners and end up going to jail. But it sounds like Gabby is going to be sowing her oats with a parolee. She need a little excitement in her life. That's what I'm talking about, girl. You're going to end up in jail. You ain't got no business sleeping with the dude who you supposed to be the probation officer of. But nah, man, it's a real story. Like, you have so many women who... And I see men talk about this all the time. Like, women will get married, have a baby, get with a good guy, and then later in life they realize, oh, the good guy's kind of boring. Now I want to kind of play with I want to have an affair. I need some excitement in my life. My life is so boring. And it's like, girl, I ain't saying what people should or shouldn't do, but usually when you get that little excitement in your life, it comes with some bad problems. So her sleeping with this guy is probably going to lead down a very bad, dangerous, dark path. So, Gabby girl, good luck. Leave them jailhouse men where they at, child. Leave them where they at. JD Informant said, H to the Izzo. What up, Jay? Thanks for stopping in. We're going to have a good show today. Lauren says she's a good actress. She should have more roles. For sure. Lauren said, I just saw on Twitter, Tasha K says Shannon Sharp was messing with someone's husband. What? Child, I'll have to look at that when I come back. Jada Informant said, what happened to your friend? Skip to the part when you went to break him out. Oh, the friend who slept with the prisoner, he went to jail. I didn't break him out of jail. I'm the type of friend who be like, now, why you did that? I'm going to put some money on his book. He didn't go to jail for a long time. He wasn't locked up I think he only did he was only in jail for like a week, maybe. Then they gave him probation because it was like his first offense, so I didn't have to break him out. But I was like, bro, why did you do that? why you got that on your record? Like, why was you sleeping with the inmates? He was like, girl, he was fine. I'm like, friend, you let that prisoner get you caught up. Now you ain't got no job, friend. Like, friend, why did you do that? I'm gonna have to come back to that Shannon Sharp sleeping with somebody's husband. I'm gonna have to check that out when I get off. That kind of blew me a little bit. That kind of Shannon Sharp sleeping with somebody's husband. That's wild. All right, next up, let's talk about Michael. Don't stop till you get enough. So the big MJ.
She don't want no puppy. She want a big dog.
Big dog MJ has crossed 800 million at the box office, and I mean that pretty much guarantees they're gonna move forward with the sequel. I think we kind of all saw this coming, but now there's rumblings like, hey, you know, this movie is doing so good. Could there possibly be a trilogy in the works? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can see it. There's so much life left in Michael's story that we could visit. I mean, if they still want to kind of keep the good vibes going in the second movie, they can tackle like the Super Bowl or Remember the Times video, him dating Lisa Marie Presley. Like, they can put all that in the second movie. And then if you do want to close it out on a more, you know, darker note, the final movie, they can dig into like the 2005 case and that controversy. They could talk about his kids up until when he passes away. So they got a lot of runway that if they want to spread this Michael story out, I could see a trilogy. I could see it. I can see them doing a trilogy. But right now, MJ is sliding towards that Big Billy mark. We'll see if he hits it. He got time. Because what are we in? But it's getting ready to come out on digital soon. That's a bad mistake for Lionsgate. When does Michael hit digital? It says June of 2026. Now, originally I heard, because I reported on this, that they were trying to release it early June, that it was going to go to digital. They need to hold off, man. They need to not put this thing on digital until late July. Like, I would keep this thing in the theaters for as long as possible. Do not put it on digital. Let it ride out, because if they leave it there, you know, they can get to that Billy mark. If they start pulling it out, I don't know. But yeah, man, Michael is moving to that big Billy. Big Billy. All right. So we done got through the first 4 topics quick, because the rest of the show is all Marvel. We finna go knee deep into the Marvel news. We are finna get into Marvel. Lauren said they need this in there until his birthday. When is Mike's birthday? Michael Jackson's birthday. August 29th. Hey, they ain't gonna keep it in that long. They ain't gonna keep it into August. It's too much coming to kind of push it out of the way. You got Spider-Man coming, Toy Story 5, Odyssey. It's too much coming. It's not gonna make it to August, but at least late July. All right, man, let's get into the Marvel stuff. Let's get into it. Let's go. Rest of the show is all Marvel. All right, y'all. We got our first look at XMen 97 Season 2. And if you're worried that you're now going to be waiting longer between seasons of XMen 97, Marvel just gave us some good news. Because according to the creative team behind the show, the plan now is basically 1 season every year. Because if y'all don't remember, the first show came out 2 years ago, 2024. We just getting the second season 2 years later. But the creators said now we want to try to get a show out every year. We don't really want to miss a year. So in a new interview talking about the X-Men 97 Season 2 trailer, producer Larry Houston revealed that Marvel is already deep into future development. And I'm talking way deeper than most people probably expected. He literally said they're already giving notes on Season 4 scripts. So they want to keep this thing rocking and rolling. Now, what I will say, hate to be the bearer of bad news, as great of a show X-Men 97 was, a lot of people didn't really watch it. It never charted at all. It didn't have higher viewership, but kind of similar to Wonder Man. It was critically acclaimed. The critics loved it. The fans loved it. So Marvel obviously has two thoughts when they're renewing things. They're either going to renew a show if it has high viewership, or they might renew a show if it has high critical appraise, but maybe low viewership, because Wonder Man and X-Men 97 are two shows that didn't have super, super high viewership, but the critics loved it and the fans loved it, so they're renewing it. But in the past, when you think of the shows that's gotten multiple seasons, they've usually charted. Loki, high streaming numbers, critics loved it. WandaVision, she didn't get like direct sequels, but she has spinoffs like Agatha and Vision Quest. So even though a lot of people did not watch X-Men 97, the people who watched it loved it. And obviously Marvel wants to ride this rodeo out. Now, season 2 already looks insane. Apocalypse is stepping into the spotlight. The timeline looks like it's fractured. We got X-Men everywhere. Gambit's death is obviously still haunting the team. And we got some new characters coming in. Looks like we saw Polaris, Psylocke, Angel. I think I saw Iceman too. But yeah, man, are y'all excited for X-Men 97 Season 2 getting ready to drop in a month or so? Now, what I will say is... So the things that Bo DeMaio brought to the show are really little small things that only Bo DeMaio would do. So I'm interested to see if they're still able to maintain those little weird little quips that Bo would put in there, all the little messy shit that Bo used to put in there. Or if they're just finna like, nah, we not taking none of that. We really finna this is finna be our own new show. And I don't even know who's writing this season. Oh, yeah, they did say they were bringing in the writers from What If. We'll see if they're able to keep this thing rock and rolling. That first season was very good. I like when people try to downplay Bo's impact on that story, because that story was Bo's, man. Like, and I don't want to discount any of the other writers that were involved. It's always a team. Like, it's always a team. You got to shout out the animators. Shout out to Chase Conley. He did a great job on some of the episodes that he was involved in. He's a visual effects artist and an animator. But this TV show was Bo DeMaio's baby. And we just got to see how they handle this stuff moving forward. They are putting a lot into one season. Like, it's a lot going on already. So we'll see how they handle it. Are y'all excited? Are y'all going to check it out? And if I remember correctly, they released it episode by episode. We didn't get big drops on this, right? I'm excited. I'm going to check it out, man. I'm going to check it out. All right, let's check the comments. JD Informant said, I still ain't caught season 1. Jay, fake fan. Get him out of here. Get him. Jay is a fake Marvel fan.
Get him banned. Get him banned. We don't do that here. Oh, now I'm pissed. Find out who that is, get him banned. We don't do that. I ain't the one, baby.
Get Jay up out of here. Jay be the main one in the chat. You ain't no real Marvel fan. You ain't no real Marvel fan. Celebrity Docket says, I can't wait, but no Bo DeMaio, so hope is still the same. I heard they may have left some of his story. I think they left some skeletons of his story. But then again, they took away his writer's credit, so I'm going to tell y'all this. I'm going to know. I'll know, because I know what season 2 was supposed to be. So once it started, I'll let you know if his stuff is still in there or if it's not. I know what it was supposed to be. Lauren said it should be intact even without Bo. S. Jaddick says, I got to talk to Bo on Twitter via DM, so I'm interested to see how much of what he told me actually happens. Okay. Lauren said, I think he got hacked on Twitter. Celebrity Docket says, I wonder if he'll come back to Twitter when the show airs. Bo needs to stay off of Twitter. No. Bo don't need to let Bo. Twitter's not good for Bo. Bo need to stay off Twitter. Shout out to Bo. The Ron Hart official says, I think it comes down to sharing and will recommend the shows to others to get it to chart. Yeah. Lauren said, I don't see no one half dressed. Look at Magneto down there, baby. I said, oh no. What does like Nene said, oh no, is that a white refrigerator, honey? What they got Magneto on? Y'all know if Bo was on the show, Magneto, look at him. He don't even Magneto ain't even got a lineup. I don't like this. It's those little things that Bo would do. Like, Bo would make sure, everybody look good. Oh. As Jaddick says, the standards for animated shows the same as live action. I don't think they're the same because half these animated shows are not charting and they all get like trilogies. Lauren said everybody got button-ups and full clothes on. Yeah, my brother is gone. Everybody is fully clothed. We ain't got no sweat and water dripping off all over your body. We ain't got none of that. As Jaddick says, the What If writers were asked. Feige is obsessed with Peggy Carter, which when it's live action. Haley is nice to look at, but animated don't do nothing for me. Celebrity Docket says there's so many layers to what he was talking about with the industry and stuff. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just tough, man. I think it's a tough call either way. What I will say is anybody who has worked in corporate America, if y'all work in corporate America now, y'all know how the politics are. Some people are able to get away with certain stuff. Some people not. If you push against the machine too much, people going to retaliate. And I think I think Bo was very passionate about the projects that he was working on. And with him being that passionate, sometimes it probably could rub people the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we ain't finna do all that. Like, why you doing all that? Like, why you doing this? Did y'all see the article last week from the actor who plays Wenwu, Shang-Chi's daddy? He did an article and he was talking to the director on Shang-Chi and he was like, hey, if this guy is 500 years old, 1,000 years old, if Wenwu is that old, he would be doing more than just karate. Like, he would be doing MMA. He would be doing boxing. Like, somebody like Wenwu would be so skilled in every aspect of fighting because of how long that he's lived. I don't want to just do karate. And he said, Destin Daniel Cretton told him, like, bruh, like, you doing too much. We got to do whatever Marvel says. So, it sounds like sometimes when people want to vocalize things, Marvel is really just kind of like, get in line. Like, we ain't got time to be making all these changes. This is our routine. This is what works. This is what we gonna keep doing. And when you have people who kind of push against that, who might be like, I don't know, we need to do this, we need to do that. Sometimes people don't like that. Sometimes people really just want you to shut up and dribble. And you got some people who come in and they just cool with shutting up and dribble, aka Anthony Mackie. That's what I believe. I believe Anthony Mackie did not care enough about his movie to give pushback on certain things to make everything better. But you have people maybe like Bo DeMaio, people maybe like RDJ. I believe Ryan Coogler probably didn't give a lot of pushback, but now, he got a little cachet. He probably going to push his weight around a little bit more. But sometimes, they don't like that. Now, I'm not going to say Bo is not at fault for things. We all don't know the ins and out of what happened. He's saying he ain't never do none of that, and the people's is lying. They just didn't like him because he was vocal and he was passionate about what he wanted, and Kevin Feige ain't like that. So, that's what I'll say. That is what I'll say. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, other than that, X-Men 97 looks dope. Hopefully it's good, man. If it's not, If it's not, they gonna hear it. So we better hope that they get it together because people are gonna be vocal. Free Spirit said, Tina, that cut looking good. I ain't got no little cut in a while. I said, this is going to be a good stream. I'm going to get clean for y'all today. Just get clean. Shout out to Free Spirit for being a member on the page.
A member of the movie Lair's here. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? A member of the movie Lair's here. What up? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat.
Welcome to the chat, Free Spirit. Member of the page. Welcome to the chat. Lawrence said, Disney been moving weird for Pixar, Marvel, and Star Wars. They buy stuff and this is what they get. S. Jaddick says, push back on Ryan, please. Feige was a good white liberal and let Coogler and Moore ruin T'Challa. S. Jaddick said the movie that made $1.4 billion was ruined by Ryan Coogler. Damn, S. Jaddix. All right, next topic. And y'all, I'm only doing this topic because S. Jaddix is so messy. He gonna tag me in it on Twitter like, you need to talk about Cynthia Erivo being Storm. We done talked about this already, but you want to be messy, so I'm gonna talk about it again because I love y'all. Y'all come here every week and support me. When y'all give me topics, I'm going to talk about it. But S. Jaddick, you was being messy because you know people don't like Cynthia. You want me to talk about this. All right, speaking of X-Men, so Cynthia Erivo just did a pretty big article over there at Variety, and she was talking about her time on Wicked and some of the theater work that she's done. But she's also being very blunt about being Storm. She says she want to be Storm, and this isn't the first time she's spoken about this publicly. She brought it up last year, and she was like, listen, I want to work with Marvel, and I want to be Storm. That is what she said. That's what she said. And look, I am a firm believer in speaking things into existence. I'm a firm believer in positive affirmations, and I do admire people who are goal-driven and vocal about what they want to do. And she's one of those people who she gonna get what she wants, and she's vocal about the things that she wants to do. So with her being this vocal, it tells me that she probably has not received a call from Marvel because she is very actively campaigning to be in Marvel. So I don't think they're gonna pick her, but you never know. You never know. But usually when people are very vocal and talking about it publicly, there's really probably no conversations being had. And I'm sure they are knee deep into casting for X-Men at this point. Now, some of the scoopers have said that, hey, man, Marvel wants to play ball with Cynthia. But they're probably looking at other people too. I feel like if she was in the running for this role, I'm sure she would be less vocal about wanting it. We really don't know what's going on with Storm. We don't know if they're going with young 20-year-old Storm or an older, mature Storm. There was rumors that Ryan Reynolds wants Storm in the X-Force movie. People have speculated that maybe Storm is introduced in Black Panther 3. Maybe they let Coogler handle the casting. Hell, we don't know what the hell going on. We don't know. I just feel like if Jake Schreier is your director for X-Men, and if his version of the X-Men will include Storm, I said if because we don't know, he's probably going to be the person involved with the casting for Storm. He probably is. That is a little frightening to me. That is a little frightening to me because some people who don't understand how Storm should be cast. So I'm a little scared. But right now, we haven't heard a lot about the casting of X-Men. They should be getting ready to film this movie really soon. So by Comic-Con, we should start hearing some stuff pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? They need to start picking this up. But yeah, man, Cynthia Erivo wants to be the weather goddess herself, Storm. This is what I say. I say this every time we talk about Cynthia. Cynthia is not my first pick. She not. Jodie Turner-Smith, that's number one for me. Jamie Lawson, Number two. Number three, Kiki Lane. I wouldn't be mad if Cynthia is like number 5 or 6 on my list because I think Cynthia is talented enough to do it. Now, I do think she too small. She too short. You know what I'm saying? I think she's too small for the role. But if we are looking at just like pure acting capabilities, when you make that list of potential actors who could be Storm, she top 5. Top 10 as far as acting capabilities. Now, when you start looking at, okay, how tall should Storm be? What should Storm look like? You know, she may not check those categories. And that's why we got to figure out, what are these people looking for when they are making their casting decisions? Are they looking for the best actress on the list? And when they bring these people in to read for these parts, what if she's just the strongest actress? What if she's just stronger than Jodie Turner-Smith or Jamie Lawson? What do you do? What do you do? I ain't even looked at the chat because I know y'all being messy. I ain't even looked at the chat. What if she's just the strongest person for the role? What do you do? I don't know, y'all. I'm just saying. I'm just starting the conversation. That's all. Jabari Muhammad said, boo. Y'all are horrible. S. Jaddick says, hey, Tina, if Ryan does right by T'Challa, then I won't make any more Cynthia as Storm jokes. But until then, it's fair game. Y'all act like Cynthia Erivo, my cousin or somebody. If y'all want to talk about Cynthia, y'all can. Now, if you start getting too crazy off the wall, we ain't finna do that now. Lauren said, no, thank you. We want Jamie Lawson. We want a baddie. Celebrity Docket said, don't forget that like button. Hit the like button. That's right, y'all. Y'all, hit that like button. S. Jaddick says, we know Cynthia is tight with Ryan Reynolds, and Ryan delivered them $1 billion last time, so it ain't possible. Nisha said, I don't know if I like Cynthia as Storm. I like her as an actress, but I don't know if she'll be good for Storm. Celebrity Docket said, I don't see Cynthia as Storm. Jabari says, she's not Storm. Maybe Hurricane, but not Storm. Don't get beside yourself, Jabari. Celebrity Docket says, Storm is super attractive. Not saying Cynthia isn't, but I feel like it's got to be a hottie. Got to be a hottie. She said, I'm late. You ain't missed the juicy stuff yet. You know, I think you right on time. We just getting into it. You ain't missed nothing too much, she. The Ron Hart official says, not sure if this is on the docket for later, but I think Marvel is looking at actresses like Jodie Turner-Smith and Tiana Taylor. Maybe they are in the running for Storm. First off, as much as I love my queer sister Tiana Taylor, you know, she on the rainbow, she is not Storm. I would give Storm to Cynthia Erivo before I give it to Tiana Taylor. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, 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 no. No, ma'am. And I love Tiana, but no, she does not have the range to be Storm. Lauren said she could be a random Dora Milaje. I'm not doing this with y'all tonight. Lauren said Jamie Lawson is right there and she worked with Ryan. Why are we keep putting Storm with Ryan Coogler? Why does everybody keep making that connection? Why do y'all think Ryan Coogler has impact on Storm? Y'all tell me. Free Spirit said her hair needs to be on point every episode. Give Storm some box braids. Yeah. JD Informant said, I have my theories on how they get the parts, starting with the yacht parties. Listen, Jay, I'm not going to say you wrong, but I'm not going to say that's always the case. Like, yeah, sometimes, but that's life. Sometimes it is like a who you know game. Like, let's don't front. Sometimes it is a who you know game, but sometimes you ain't got to do all that. You don't have to compromise your morals all the time. She said, I'm rocking with my boo, Jamie Lawson. Listen, I think Jamie Lawson is the pick. No, see, now y'all making me change how I think. Jodie Turner-Smith is my pick. That's who I'm going with. Jodie, then Jamie. As Jaddock says, Cynthia would be a good voice actress for Storm, but live action, not my preference. But she is a good enough actress, and she is dark-skinned. Yeah, she could do it. That'd be my thing with Cynthia. Like, trust me, y'all, Cynthia is not my first choice. But when people say she can't do it, I'm like, Cynthia is an actress. You can have your gripes about her. Cynthia has said some controversial things in the past. But I'm not going to deny her talent. Cynthia can act her ass off. She can do it. Old Dog said, what up, Tina and everybody? Free Spirit says, Storm got to be a hottie. Lauren said, Tiana can play Vixen. Yeah, let her go over there to the DCU. She could be Vixen. Tiana cannot be Storm. She just cannot. Free Spirit said, Ryan handles the black side of Marvel. Not y'all saying Ryan handled the black side. The Celebrity Docket says Jodie has the looks and the acting. Yes, she my first choice. Jodie Turner-Smith is the first choice. Free Spirit said, I'm going with Jodie or DeWanda Wise. A lot of people like DeWanda. I don't see it for DeWanda. I don't know what it is about people in DeWanda. I don't see it for DeWanda. And I like DeWanda. Did y'all know that DeWanda Wise was supposed to be Monica Rambeau? I think she would have been a good Monica Rambeau. Yeah, she was supposed to be Monica Rambeau, and she had to back out. She had to back out. So I can't see DeWanda for Storm. I don't think DeWanda has enough gravitas to be Storm. One thing you can say about Cynthia is her and Jodie Turner-Smith, they have a level of gravitas. You know, say what you want about how Cynthia looks. Shave her head off. When she walks in the room, you do look and be like, damn, who is that? When Jodie Turner walk in the room, you be like, who is that? DeWanda don't have that. And she's a gorgeous woman. She's gorgeous. But she don't have that gravitas to be Storm. Lauren said DeWanda was supposed to be Maria. I thought it was Monica. Now I got to look it up. DeWanda Wise. Monica Rambeau. All right. You are right, Lawrence. I was wrong. It says DeWanda Wise was originally cast in the 2019 Captain Marvel film. While many fans and reports initially speculated she was playing Monica, I'm not crazy. I got that Monica from somewhere. She was actually cast to play Carol Danvers' best friend, Maria Rambeau. Where did we get Monica from? I'm going to put that on the docket because that came from somewhere. Okay, maybe it was Maria. Okay. Free Spirit says Cynthia do got spunk. Yeah, you got to have a little. And it ain't even really about spunk. It's just a level of. It's just the way you kind of walk with yourself. Do you know how much you got to have to walk around with a bald head? You got to be a bad bitch to walk around with a bald head. Say what you want. To shave your hair off and walk through, it's a level of, I know what I am. That's what she got. And Jodie Turner-Smith has that. There's something about Jodie Turner-Smith. It's something about, especially in black women, dark-skinned black women, we have to build up like a certain level of confidence to really walk through the world because, you know, we do get a lot of, you know, growing up, people will talk about you, call you ugly, call you all these weird names. So it's something about a dark-skinned black woman who has built up enough confidence to walk in the room and you just look like, who is that? Cynthia has that. Jodie Turner-Smith has that. I love DeWanda Wise. I've seen DeWanda Wise in person. She's gorgeous. She looks like one of my cousins, actually. But I don't get that, like, from her. I don't get that, from DeWanda. I think DeWanda would be, like, in there playing as Storm. You need somebody like Cynthia or Jodie Turner-Smith to be Storm, because when they get in there and get to playing with Storm, those two women would be like, nah, we ain't finna do that. No. You need a strong actress to be Storm. And I think DeWanda Wise, I don't know. She looks great. And I think that's why a lot of people go for her, because she has like the caramel eyes, she's brown skin, but Lauren said Lupita is Storm. I could never see Lupita as Storm, but people said it. Thrag 1 of 1 says Jodie. Yeah, Jodie's my top pick. Nisha says DeWanda is a good choice for Storm. See? Lauren said Viola Davis would have been perfect, but she might be too old now. You talking about she might be too old? She is. Talking about Viola might be too old. Oh, she is too old. All right. Let's talk about. All right, so we're going to wrap this one up. Cynthia Erivo wants to be Storm. We'll see. Look, if the casting comes out, if she walk on the stage for Comic-Con, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know why she wants to have that unwarranted hate on herself. I know she be on social media and she see how people be like, we don't want you to be Storm. That's how you know she is a strong bitch, because she know people don't want her to be Storm, and she still like, I want to be Storm. Pick her for that. Yeah, I think she should get the role just for that, because she knows she gonna get hate and she still want to do it. But nah, man, I hope it goes to Jodie Turner-Smith or Jamie Lawson. Honestly, those are my top 2 picks for sure. Jodie Turner-Smith, then Jamie Lawson. But like I said, if she walks on the stage for Comic-Con, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be like, well, I mean, I'd be like, I told y'all they went with the best actress. They went with whoever is the best actress. All right, next topic. All right, now y'all know Sebastian Stan has officially been cast in the Batman Part 2 as Harvey Dent, a.k.a. Two-Face. And once that news dropped, a lot of people immediately started wondering, like, okay, does that mean he's leaving Marvel? People was like, oh, he's definitely dying in Doomsday because he's just signed to be with DC. But good old Bucky Barnes said, I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving. The show goes on.
Sebastian Stan says, bitch, I ain't leaving Marvel. All right, so Sebastian said this week, and I quote, there's been a comfort returning every few years, which hopefully I'll keep doing, he said when talking about Marvel. So to me, that sounds like somebody who still wants to keep that Marvel Studios relationship going. Bucky Barnes has been a part of Sebastian Stan's career for years, and Marvel has clearly kept a place for him in the MCU. And honestly, I mean, actors don't have to pick one or the other anymore. He can play Harvey Dent in the DCU, and then he can still come back and be Bucky when Marvel needs him. And we know everything is like completely up in the air with DC at the moment now. We don't know what's going on as far as this sale to Paramount is concerned. So me personally, I never thought that Sebastian Stan would be completely jumping ship to the DCU, because we don't even know what kind of ship DC gonna have when Paramount takes over. I wouldn't be jumping on the Titanic. It's about to go down. So Sebastian Stan is like, hey, Kevin, just because I'm over here playing Two-Face, y'all call me back when y'all need me to be Bucky Barnes, okay? And I think that also lets us know that he's probably not dying in Doomsday or Secret Wars if he's saying, hey, hopefully that door is still open. So, look, y'all, it don't sound like nobody dying in Doomsday or Secret Wars. It don't sound like nobody is kicking the bucket. We already know Thor ain't going nowhere. He talking about they working on another Thor movie. Ain't nobody dying. This movie better have some stakes in it. Golly. No stakes. Ray Cougar said, best promotion on stream, boo.org. I don't know what that is, Ray. Welcome to the chat. Lawrence said, if there's a check, I'll be there. Jadak said, yeah, Feige ain't bringing his ass back. Damn. That is so, like, messed up. It's Jadak talking about Feige ain't bringing him back. You don't know that. Don't be like that. Oh man, we just got a super chat.
Shout out to the super chat. Shout out to the super chat. Shout out to the super chat. Shout out to the super chat. Thanks for supporting. I like that. I like that. Thanks for supporting. I like that.
Shout out to the super chat from the celebrity Dockies. Gave me a little 10-piece. 10-piece. I appreciate you for always coming in and DM me and supporting me. I appreciate that, celebrity Dockets. Lauren says, Century dying. I don't know about that. AZN delegation says, are you going to be at San Diego Comic-Con this year? Is who going to be at San Diego Comic-Con this year? Are you asking, am I gonna be there? Hell no. Friend. I cannot. I'm too old. And I have never been to San Diego Comic-Con. And from what I heard, you gotta sleep outside to get into Hall H. I'm too old for that, baby. I'm too old. If I was 19, 20, and I had a little bit more energy, yeah, maybe I could be outside setting my tent up, like holding my place in line. I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm too old. I need air. I need AC. I need to be able to sit down. Like, I ain't got time. I want to be able to buy my ticket and walk in and sit down. Why I got to wait outside to see if I can get in the Hall H? No, I cannot do it. I'm sorry. I'm not even going back to CinemaCon next year. That CinemaCon burnt me out. I was like, oh my God, I'm getting old. I'll probably go back in a couple years. Maybe every other year, but I can't go 2 years in a row. Lawrence said, if the Batman 2 do better than Thunderbolts and F4, they going to need him back. I think he going to kill it in the Batman. I think he going to kill it. As Jack said, Batman is built different, Tina, just like Spider-Man. So even if the rest sinks, it won't matter. The Dark Knight endures, Magamount or not. Lauren said, she said, you got Comic-Con money. It ain't about the money. It's about, from what I heard, I don't know how true it is, that you got to, like, stay outside to wait in line. I'm not doing that. No. Lawrence says, CinemaCon, they play in the water. Free Spirit said, you got to wait like that even if you bought a ticket. Yes. Now, I don't know how true it is, Free Spirit, because I've never been, so I don't want to say. But from what I heard, you buy a ticket, but Hall H only holds so many people. So it's first come, first serve. So when people know that Marvel is presenting, they be waiting out the night before, because you can't wake up like a normal person and just walk in and sit down, because they say people had a tents set up the night before in line. I can't do all that. Celebrity Doctor said, but your CinemaCon coverage was the best. I saw you were thorough. I don't know if you meant thorough or through. Either way it goes, I was through and I was thorough. I was tired. JD Informant said, Tina needs some B12, numeric powder, and electric bike. Baby, no. I need to be able to walk out of my hotel and just walk into Hall H. I don't need to be, like, camped out outside. I don't know. I can't do it. My life ain't built like that. To be outside in a tent all night just to get in to hear Kevin Feige get up there and get up there playing for 2 hours. I will be home on my computer. We will be going live, and we will be covering it for Twitter. See, CinemaCon is different. CinemaCon is different. I was able to get into every panel at CinemaCon. Now, don't get me wrong. The Marvel panel was the hardest to get into, but it wasn't like I needed to be there the night before. I just got there like an hour early. There was a line. But the way people be talking about Comic-Con, I'm not finna do that. Lauren said go with a group and take shifts. What group I'm gonna go with? As soon as I gotta tell my wife and some other people we gotta be outside, they're gonna be like, what? Outside? Girl. They'll be like, no, we're not finna do that. Baby, I will be covering it on Twitter. So, no, I will not be going to the Comic-Con. Shout out to the people that are going. Y'all make sure y'all come back, report, give us the tea. But I ain't going. All right, y'all. So, we're going to take a commercial break. And then we are going to talk about RDJ, Doomsday, Black Panther. We're going to get into the juice of the show. I'm going to go take a little 3-minute break, get some water, and we will be right back.
Commercial break with a movie Lair. Grab some snacks and pull up a chair. Commercial break with a movie Lair, movie Lair. From Wakanda to Gotham, we talking all that here. Commercial break with a movie Lair, the movie Lair, the movie Lair, movie Lair. Commercial break, commercial break.
Commercial break with the movie Lair. Grab some water and some snacks. Me back here. Commercial break with the movie Lair. We cover rumors and movies, all that here. Commercial break with the movie Lair. Grab some snacks and pull up a chair. Commercial break with the movie Lair, movie Lair. From Wakanda to Gotham, we talking all that here. Commercial break with the movie Lair, the movie Lair. Commercial break with the movie Lair, the movie Lair, the movie Lair.
Commercial break with the movie Lair. Grab some water and some snacks. Meat bag. Commercial break with the movie Lair. We cover rumors and my movies all day. Commercial break with the movie Lair. Grab some snacks and pull up a chair. Commercial break with the movie Lair, movie Lair. From Wakanda to Gotham when we talking all that hell. Commercial break with the movie Lair, the movie Lair, the movie Lair, the movie Lair, the movie Lair. Commercial break, 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 break. The movie Lair, the movie Lair, the movie Lair. Commercial break, break, break.
Commercial break. Commercial break with the movie Lair, movie Lair. From Wakanda to Gotham, we talking all that here.
That's what chillin' on commercial break with the movie Lair. We about to start right now. Get back here. Never chillin' on commercial break with the movie Lair, the movie Lair, movie Lair. Never chillin' on commercial break with the movie Lair, the movie Lair, movie Lair. Never chillin' on commercial break. Get back here. Get back here. We about to start. We about to start.
All right. Thank y'all for being patient while I take my little commercial breaks. Y'all know I be having to get my water, have to be hydrated. I don't see how people be on here talking for hours and hours a day. I don't see it, but thank y'all for always being patient. And I see y'all in the chat talking about y'all love the music. I be thinking about y'all. I'm like, damn, You know, if I had to watch a stream and they put me on hold for like 3 minutes, at least have some good music. So that's why I'm like, I'm gonna give y'all some music, at least something to bop to while we waiting. At least something where you're not like I'm finna leave. Oh, hold on, let me plug my laptop up. Hold on. Don't need that to die. That'll be a big problem. All right. So let's get into the next topic. All right, hold on. Let's move some stuff around. Here. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about Civil War. One of the best Marvel movies of all time. Avengers Civil War. So, y'all remember in Civil War, Alfre Woodard is in this movie. She only got like one scene. She only has one scene. And it's the scene where, she tells Tony Stark, and I'm paraphrasing because I haven't watched Civil War in a while. I can't remember the details. But she tells Tony that she had a son who had just graduated college, and he was doing some charity work over in Sokovia. And while he was doing the charity work, after he was, going to be finished with that, he was going to go on, and he was either going to be like a doctor or a scientist or something like that. But she was telling Tony, like, look, my son had his whole life ahead of him. He was over there doing volunteer work in Sokovia. Y'all was in Sokovia, and y'all dropped the goddamn building on my son's head. Y'all killed my child. And she was like, y'all think y'all are doing the right thing, but y'all are not taking into consideration the harm that y'all are causing. See, the Avengers, when they out there, like, saving the world, they be causing harm. We just don't get to see that side of the harm. Because think about it. Hulk be picking up cars, throwing them. Hawkeye be shooting arrows. We don't know if they hitting innocent bystanders. Like, they really just be doing a lot. So that's what her character was essentially saying in that particular part. Like, y'all supposed to be saving people, but y'all hurt people in that progress. In the process of y'all saving people, y'all hurt people too, and y'all kill my son. And that was what, like, did it for Tony. That's when Tony was like, yeah, man, we do need, like, some checks and balances with the government. Yeah, we kind of do be wilding. We be doing a lot. So I say that to say, Alfre Woodard said RDJ specifically wanted her for that role. Mind you, she was only in the movie like 2 minutes, but take a look at what she has to say.
You and RDJ are both in Marvel Universe.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you this. Okay, we get this call. It was the Marvel people, and they were saying to my folks, we really are sorry calling about this one scene, but RDJ just said, it has to be Alfre. And it's the scene in Captain America where we're at the elevator. He said, no, for me to be able to make this turn in, that I have to make for the whole rest of the thing of the superheroes coming in to work with the government. He said it has to be somebody that can ground the situation where Iron Man would accept it. And so he was insisting on me. And so then they said, no, we can't afford her. He said, you know what? Can't do it unless you. So it kept going on that. So that's one where we actually stood at that elevator and said, let's do it again. Tell them we want to do it again, because we just didn't want to stop doing it. Yeah.
All right, so that's dope to hear. So one thing that stuck out to me immediately, she said when they called her, they immediately tried to lowball her and was like, hey, we really can't afford you, but RDJ won't do it without you. So they already calling talking about money up front. Like, hey, we know we can't afford you, but RDJ really, really wants you. Why they don't never got money when it come to certain people? It's like some people y'all claim y'all ain't got money for, but then y'all go and find money for other people. Like, why y'all pick and choose who y'all got money for? But eventually they must have found the goddamn money because she ended up in the movie. The second thing I noticed, she said RDJ was like, y'all got to go get her. I can't do the scene without her. Y'all got to go get her. Whatever it takes, make it happen. Go get Alfre Woodard. Y'all got to make it happen. Y'all got to figure it out. So what I immediately thought about was, if RDJ has that much power during Civil War, where he's requesting specific actors for small roles that they claim they can't afford, can you imagine what's going on that Doomsday set? I can only imagine. Bro, RDJ is running that set. RDJ probably is going to end up with executive producer credits on Doomsday and Secret Wars, because if he's yielding that kind of power during the Civil War days, child, ain't no telling what he got going on Doomsday. But yeah, man, I thought that was interesting. I'm like, damn, RDJ like showing a little muscle, like, you got to go get Alfred. I want to work with her. Oh man, that was crazy. She talking about he ain't do that for Terrence Howard. Look, he ain't had no pull back then, man. He ain't had no pull back then. He ain't had no pull. Don't hate on him for that. All right, next up. All right, now we got another mysterious casting added to Avengers Doomsday. Does this need to be a spoiler alert? Should this be a spoiler? Do y'all? I don't think this is like a spoiler. I think this is more so like a casting thing, but I'm gonna put a spoiler alert up just in case y'all don't wanna. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. You don't want spoiler, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. You don't want spoiler, better leave. I don't consider this like a spoiler, but I'm still gonna put a little spoiler alert up for. So we got a mysterious casting going on. There's a young actress by the name of Matilda Firth, and she has officially joined the movie Doomsday in an unnamed role. And now the internet is trying to figure out, okay, who is she playing? Who is she going to be? Now, one of the biggest theories floating around is, hey, could she be connected to Dr. Doom? Some people think, she might be Doom's daughter. And we've already heard rumors that, Dr. Doom has a family in this movie, and it's possible that Dr. Doom's family passes away. He might have a wife, a daughter, and a son. So some people are like, hey, is she possibly Dr. Doom's daughter? You know what I mean? That's a choice. But then you got the other side of people like, what if she's Valeria Richards? What if she is Reed Richards and Sue Storm's daughter? And if Marvel is really building towards the Fantastic Four, like becoming important in Secret Wars, I mean, that theory could make sense. She could be their child. Now, me personally, I think people need to remember sometimes a casting is just a casting. She could end up being a random civilian character caught in the chaos of these universes collapsing. Marvel loves throwing in these mystery roles that fans like overanalyze for months and then it end up being nothing. But I ain't gonna lie, man, if this movie is really leaning emotional with Dr. Doom and the idea of a daughter or a child, being tied to his downfall, I mean, I can see it. We've heard that he might have a family, but what y'all think? Y'all think she's just a random person? Is she Reed child or is she Doom child? I guess we're going to find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Oh, shit! We'll find out next time. As Jaddox says, Valeria, though, S. Jaddox says, Valeria, though, didn't we get a rumor that Steve has 2 kids? I haven't heard that. Celebrity Docket said, I think it's going to be Reed's kids. Free Spirit says, shout out to Afri. Loved her in Crooklyn, for sure. She's a great, great actress. She said, she said, RDJ ain't try to get Jonathan Majors or Terrence Howard. We don't know, man. We're going to talk about Kang a little later. We don't know. Kang might be showing up. We don't know. We don't know. All right. Next topic. All right. So these new Avengers Doomsday toy leaks might have just added even more fuel to one of Marvel's wildest rumors online right now. Once again, you know, we gonna go ahead and drop another spoiler alert because we might be hinting. I think this last whole thing is just gonna be possible like spoilers. So spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. You don't want spoilers. Better leave. Spoiler alert.
If you don't want spoilers, you better get the hell on. We talking about Doomsday spoilers. All right. So the Doomsday toy leaks have dropped, and allegedly, we don't know. They said the toy leaks showed Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, Dr. Doom, and Thor. And so we already heard that Tobey Maguire, his Spider-Man, might be fighting Hugh Jackman to open the movie up. So according to reports, the first wave of the Marvel Legends figures include Dr. Doom, Thor, Captain America, and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. And they said Hasbro is supposed to be revealing this at Comic-Con, San Diego. Now, by itself, that's already huge because Marvel they don't really be pushing like legacy characters that hard in merch unless they really matter. But Tobey being included this early, hey, that's circling back to that original rumor because for months, there's been rumors floating around that Doomsday could feature multiversal conflicts where heroes from different universes actually fight each other before eventually teaming up. And one of the biggest rumored matchups is Tobey Maguire Spider-Man fighting Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Now, allegedly, where's my Wendy Williams meme? Allegedly.
All the rumors are true, yeah. What you heard, that's true, yeah.
Rumors are true, but I meant to put Wendy.
Allegedly,
they said that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man comes in contact with the Fox X-Men because allegedly the Fox X-Men are going to these different universes and setting bombs to blow them up before an incursion hits their universe. And they said somehow Wolverine, he's a part of setting the bomb up, but somehow he ends up staying, and him and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man are fighting, and they said the whole goddamn world just blows up. They said the opening scene is Tobey Maguire Spider-Man dying. I'm for it. Kill them. Get rid of them all. I don't give a damn. I want everybody to die and don't come back. Like, let some of these deaths be permanent. If Tobey is gone, let him go. If Hugh Jackman is gone, let him go. I don't want to see them back. Some of these people, let's just let him go. Now, if Dr. Doom is manipulating incursions behind the scenes, that could easily explain why heroes are turning on each other in the beginning. So what I'll say is Marvel also knows exactly what they're doing if this is true. Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman are two of the most beloved Marvel actors in the MCU, outside of the MCU and the Sonyverse. So putting these two together on the big screen, I mean, it's gold. People love it. People love Tobey Maguire and people love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. So, I mean, if this is how the movie opens up, yes, people are going to be there for this. Even if Doomsday is trying to like hit the big box office of Endgame, I think adding some of these legacy characters is going to help them get there. Now, obviously, we got to all keep this in the rumor territory. None of this has been officially confirmed by Marvel Studios, but the Spider-Man versus Wolverine stuff is mostly coming from like scoopers and leakers. But we'll see, man. Wow. A toy reveal is letting you know that Tobey Maguire is going to be in the movie. What a bad spoiler. I think if this toy reveal is legit and they release this at San Diego Comic-Con, you might as well put Tobey in the trailer at this point. I think at this point, the trailer should open up with Hugh Jackman and Tobey Maguire facing each other about to fight. Just open the goddamn trailer with them if you got the toys out. Just go ahead and open the trailer that way. Hey, if it's leaking like that, just let everybody know. Don't try to keep that a secret. All right. Free Spirit said, let my people go. She said, this is going to be a whole nostalgia movie. Hey, I don't know. Celebrity Docket said, that's funny because they my least favorite people. Tobey Spider-Man especially. I just think they done had their time, man. Let them go. Lauren said, kill the geriatric X-Men. Yeah, let's send these people off. Send them off. Send them off the right way. Let these people go. Jesus Christ. Tired of them. All right, next up. All right, so Charlie Cox, the actor who plays Daredevil, was just doing an interview with the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, and he was asked, was he in any of the upcoming Marvel movies? And he said, I quote, Marvel has been clear with me now for, let me rewind that. I'm getting tongue twisted. He said, Marvel has been clear with me for now, at least, that I'm focusing on the show. That's our focus. That really is the truth. So he's essentially saying Marvel told him, look, we just focusing on the TV show. You're not going to be in the movie. So people think he's in Spider-Man Brand New Day because there's a fight scene with the hand in the prison. And right now, Daredevil is currently in prison. So people was like, yeah, it makes sense. Maybe Spider-Man is helping break Daredevil out, or maybe Daredevil is going to jump out and help Spider-Man fight the hand. But Charlie Cox said, nope, not me. He said he's not in the movie. Now, what I'll say is, a part of me kind of believes him because Brad Winderbaum, the head of Marvel TV, said out his mouth the same exact thing for Yahya Mateen's Wonder Man. He said exactly, we're not trying to rush Yahya to the screen. We hired him for TV. TV is where he's going to be at. So sounds like they told Charlie Cox the same thing. But that's kind of weird because why would y'all put him in the other Spider-Man movie? Like, he exists in the universe. I don't know. Part of me is like, this movie is already stuffed. Are they trying to squeeze in a Daredevil story too? Like, it's a lot going on. It's a lot. And would people be happy if it's just like a little short cameo? Would people be cool with that? Maybe they would. But either way it goes, I'm fine. If he shows up in the film, great. If he doesn't show up, I'm cool either way it goes. So, I'm either left or right on it. It doesn't really matter to me. How y'all feel? She said Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man. For sure. That's what I was trying to tell them boys last night. Lauren said Daredevil's probably in it. Why else would they put the hand? He was in No Way Home and said he wasn't in that. You right. Lauren said, but Wonder Man is black. They don't treat those characters the same. I don't know. As Shattuck said, Punisher can cross over in a major role, but Daredevil cannot. Don't make sense to me. I'm just reporting the news, child. Free Spirit said, I think he's going to show up, but I don't care. I don't give a damn. All right, next up. All right, so we got a new article about Spider-Man Brand New Day in Empire Magazine, and one thing that really stuck out in the article was Tom Holland being very forthcoming about setting the franchise up after he leaves. He says, and I quote, for whoever's next, whether that is Miles Morales or Spider-Gwen or Spider-Woman, something like that, I would love to be a part of setting up the next chapter. He says, whatever that looks like, I don't know, but if I could do what RDJ did for me, then I would be so content swinging off into the sunset. So it sounds like Tom is ready to pass the torch. He's been very vocal about setting up his successor, and hopefully that's Miles Morales. Hopefully Marvel and Sony can figure out how to get Miles in a live action film, because Tom Holland is letting the public know, like, yo, I'm ready to mentor the next person that's coming behind me. Like, I'm really ready to kind of get the next person going. It sounds like Tom is ready to kind of get up out of here. Now, the good brother over at Planet Fanatics, Darius, he says he believes that Tom Holland is ready to sit down and have babies with Zendaya. I don't think Zendaya ready to have no goddamn kids. That's just me. I don't think Zendaya is ready to have kids. I think Tom ready to have kids. Tom give me a little conservative ready to go. Zendaya give me like, no, I need to run my check up, because if things get too sticky, I need to have my check so I can stir. So I don't know. I never got the energy from Zendaya that she's ready to be a mom right now. I could be wrong. It sounds like Tom ready to settle down. I don't know if Zendaya ready to sit down. Zendaya seemed like she want to still be outside. Now, Some other things that were in the article. According to Tom, he actually helped pitch part of the story, and his original tagline for the movie was Spider Puberty. You heard that right. The idea is basically what happens when Peter Parker starts losing control and his Spider-Man powers begin evolving in a way that he doesn't fully understand. Now, if you've been following the rumors and trailer footage, this kind of lines up with what we've been seeing. The official synopsis already teased that Peter's crime fighting is like triggering like a physical evolution in his body. So Tom Holland described the movie as being about young people finding their identity and becoming adults, and apparently that's the core theme of Brand New Day. And what's really interesting is this could open the door to some wild, like, Spider-Man concepts. It can open the door to a lot. We've already heard rumors of, like, organic webbing. I seen earlier today that he has, like, gamma web shooters, all types of stuff going on in this Spider-Man movie. But I ain't gonna flex, y'all. I'm excited for Spider-Man, and the only reason I am excited for Spider-Man is I want to see what Destin Daniel Cretton, the director, does with this. I'm excited to see his take on it. I mean, I think the director does a good job with handling like heavy emotions. He did a good job with Shang-Chi, you know, the father experiencing like loss of his wife, but still, you know, trying to beat his damn kids up. We should never talk about black fathers being bad fathers in the MCU. All the daddies in the MCU are horrible. I don't think it's a daddy worse than Shang-Chi daddy. Shang-Chi daddy was out here beating up his daughter and son. He didn't give a goddamn. He is the definition of my wife comes before my kids, because he was out there willing to beat them kids' ass for his mission that he had going on. But yo, I am excited to see these fight scenes. I know Peter Parker is going to be doing some crazy stuff, because Destin Daniel Cretton is a solid director. I like him. I like him. All right, let's take a look at the comments. Jaddix is so fucking crazy. Celebrity Docket says Daredevil in it would be cool, but also if he ain't, no one gonna cry about it. Yeah, I don't think nobody gonna be mad if Daredevil don't show up. Jaddix says, I think it's quite clear that Tom and Zendaya want to take a break from acting. I think Tom wants to take a break. I don't think Zendaya want to take a break. I have never, and maybe I'm just not plugged in, I have never watched an interview when Zendaya's like, yeah, I'm ready to sit down. I've never heard Zendaya say, I need to take a break. Zendaya seemed like she really liked to work. She said, my boy trying to make some babies full time. Heck yeah. He trying to make the babies. I have never heard Zendaya talk about motherhood. I'm not saying she doesn't want to be a mother. I'm just saying publicly, we have not seen Zendaya like, I'm ready to sit down and have kids. Because when a woman is ready to have some kids, they gonna have them goddamn kids. You see what happened with Haley Steinfeld after Sinners came out. When Sinners came out and her husband, Josh Allen, saw her being a little bit too giggly up there with Michael B. Jordan, he said, oh, we finna have a baby. You're not finna be going on no press run with Michael B. Jordan. We're finna have a child. Yes. And she probably was like, okay. When women want to have babies, they gonna have their babies. Celebrity Docket says, Zendaya don't want to be selling on TikTok Shop. Right. I ain't never heard Zendaya talking about I'm ready to have some kids. Jaddix says, I think Zendaya wants at least an Oscar nom first before she takes a break. I don't think she want that. I think Zendaya just likes to work. I think she just like to work. Celebrity Docket said, why am I looking forward more to Brand New Day than Doomsday? Should be the other way around. But the plot and characters just don't excite me. She said this has to be the most quietest Spider-Man movie ever. Yes. Akuma says, I'm hoping they do a soft screening of Spider-Man at San Diego Comic-Con like they did with Deadpool and Wolverine. They did a screening of Deadpool and Wolverine at Comic-Con? I don't know about that. I feel like Deadpool came out in May. And I don't think, did they screen it the year before? Lauren says Zendaya got a bigger career than him. Yeah, I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? But how old is Zendaya? Zendaya age. Child, Zendaya's still in her 20s. Child, no. Zendaya, man. Zendaya probably like 40, maybe. 35. I guess if we get through like a Spider-Man trilogy. Okay, so this movie is coming out in 2026. You'll probably get another Spider-Man movie in 2029. That's 3 years. You get another Spider-Man movie 3 years after that. That's 6 years. Probably after he finished his trilogy, Zendaya might be ready for kids. Because by then, she's probably 36-ish, 35-ish. I could see that. But I can't see after Dune and Odyssey, Zendaya's just like, oh, I'm ready to sit home and be a housewife with these badass kids. Because y'all know that's how it do. Y'all men be wanting the women to get pregnant. And then as soon as we get pregnant, I ain't saying it's we like I'm having babies. But anyway, as soon as we get pregnant and sit down, y'all be ready to go back to work. And we got to sit home with these badass kids. Because she's an actress. Like, she probably still going to want to work. But I can't speak for her. I'm just speculating. I've never heard Zendaya like, I'm ready to take a break and have babies. It's always Tom. I think Tom is madly in love with her. He's probably like, yes, I want her to have my babies. As Jadek says, I have no interest in Doomsday. Sam and M'Baku as my rep. Shuri stealing from T'Challa. No thanks. Destin will cook in brand new take. This is crazy. She said this going to be a short marriage, I see. I don't want it to fail. I just can't see, she ain't never said, I'm ready to sit down and have babies. Akuma said they played Deadpool and Wolverine at Hall H on Thursday. Ryan Reynolds, Wesley Snipes, and the director was there. That had to be after the movie came out, right? Akuma? They didn't play it before. For sure, it had to be after the movie came out. It had to be after the movie came out because the Wesley Snipes stuff probably would have leaked for sure. I don't because if I remember correctly, Deadpool and Wolverine came out May, and then you had Comic-Con that July. So maybe they played it after the movie came out. They're not gonna play Spider-Man before the movie comes out. Late July. Comic-Con will be before this movie comes out, if I remember correctly. Oh, we got another super chat.
Shout out to the super chat. Shout out to the super chat. Shout out to the super chat. Shout out to the super chat. Shout out to the super chat. Shout out to the super chat.
Shout out to the super chat. All right, so we got a super chat from Celebrity Docket. She says, is Spider Noir on tonight's docket or already covered on another show? I just started last night, and it's really good. I'll talk about Spider Noir next week because I haven't finished it yet. But what I will say is it started off great. I'm only on episode 1. I love a good old period piece, though. I love a good period piece. And Nicolas Cage is doing dope. I'll probably cover it next week because that'll give me time to finish it. But yes, will be on the docket next week. Lawrence said the Spider-Man curse didn't work on them. The other actors broke up. Oh, Jesus. Okay, all right. Damn, I thought we was done with Spider-Man. Okay, we got some more Spider-Man news. Hold on. All right, so Scooper James Mack. Oh, spoiler alert. We finna hit spoilers.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. You don't want spoilers, you better skirt. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. You don't want spoilers, you better skirt.
If you don't want spoilers, get the hell on. All right, so Scooper James Mack put up a post and said Tom Holland's Peter Parker dies in the movie, and some people have speculated that could lead to him getting the Venom symbiote, and that's either going to be a way to revive him or it's a way of like keeping him alive as he's on the brink of death. I don't really understand the fascination of Spider-Man getting the Venom symbiote, but whatever, I guess. My question is, who beats up Peter Parker to the point where he almost died? Who putting hands on Peter that bad? Like, is Tombstone beating him up that bad, or does he like accidentally get hit by the Hulk? Like, damn, Peter, bad enough that you almost about to die? This Peter Parker be taking some ass whoopings, because in the last Spider-Man movie, the Goblin was beating Peter up in that apartment. I was like, golly, damn. But yeah, man, they said Peter Parker may be on the brink of death in this movie, and the Venom symbiote might be what keeps him alive. And when we see him in Secret Wars, he may have the symbiote. So we just gonna put that in the allegedly category.
Allegedly.
We don't know. It's a rumor. So that's the rumor. Akuma says Thursday. The Thursday was July 25th and the release was Friday, July 26th. Really? Okay. When did Deadpool and Wolverine come out? You're right. But so when did y'all watch it at Comic-Con? Because I thought Marvel takes the Comic-Con stage that Saturday. So when did they show Deadpool and Wolverine at Comic-Con? They showed it that Thursday? I mean, that's normal because the movies normally come out that Thursday. So that's about right. S. Jaddick said, I'm going to watch Spider-Noir after that. S. Jaddick says, I mean, Hulk is savage, right? Yeah. I guess he going to get beat up by the Hulk. All right. What is the next topic? All right, so we're going to talk about the Q&A with Alex P. So we're going to talk about a Q&A with Alex P. We're going to go through some of those questions, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Kang, then Black Panther, then we up out of here. So I'm going to try to speed through. I know we done been here a while. All right. Next topic. So Alex P did a Q&A. If y'all don't know who Alex P is, he's a scooper, and sometimes he does, Q&As where you can ask questions and he'll answer some of the scoops. So we are officially getting into potential spoiler territory. So if you don't want no spoilers, go ahead and leave.
Spoiler alert. You don't want spoilers. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. You don't want spoilers.
Spoilers the rest of the goddamn show. Y'all just leave if you don't want to hear. So the first question in the Q&A was the person said, is there any casting for Avengers Secret Wars that no one is talking about? He replied, is there anyone in Valhalla? So we heard rumors a while ago that Thor was gonna be getting his ass beat, that Thor was gonna get beat up, and that he was going to get help from soldiers from Valhalla to help him in either Secret Wars or Doomsday. So the question is, who is coming from Valhalla to help Thor? Now, just me guessing. Odin, Heimdall, maybe even his mama, Jane Foster. What was his three homies? The Warriors 3? I mean, it could be them. I think anybody who has been to war with Thor is fair game. Hela, maybe? Is Hela in Valhalla? Did she die in battle? Can we see Hela coming up to help her brother? That would be kind of dope. If Hela came back to help Thor. That would be kind of funky. I liked Hela. I wish we got more Hela. Akuma said there was nothing going on Thursday, so they took that slot. Okay, but that makes sense because the movie came out that Thursday. Okay. Got it. Celebrity Docket said Odin, I think for sure. Yeah, I think Odin. That'll be dope if Odin comes. Yeah. I think that'll be dope. So yeah, that was the first question, that Thor is going to have some people from Valhalla come in the show and help him and give him backup. And Alex P said that these are some people that's going to come help Thor that has not been listed in the cast. So yeah, man, look, I like Thor's world. I like Black Panther's world, but I like Thor's world too. And then I like Shang-Chi's world. I think them is like my 3 favorite like places in the MCU. I like their pockets. So man, Hela, Loki, Odin, his mama, bring his mama back. She a witch. Let her start doing some sorcery. Why is MCU so scared of witches? Bring the witches back. Let the witches get busy. How you got access to witches and you don't use the witches? That's goddamn crazy. All right, next question. All right, so the next question, somebody said, could we see anyone else from the main MCU universe in Avengers Doomsday that hasn't already been revealed, like Wong? Alex said there's at least 8 to 9 more people that have not yet been confirmed that he knows have filmed things. So when we think about people who have not been confirmed but can potentially be in the film, I mean, I think it could be Doctor Strange, Clea. You know, we always talk about Storm. Could it be Halle Berry? Could it be Famke as Jean Grey? Okoye? You know what I'm saying? Okoye hasn't officially been announced. Could she be someone? But now that I think about it, Okoye got ousted, so she ain't even Adora no more. But I can see Okoye popping up in Secret Wars. But those are just some of the people, like, I'm just thinking about that haven't officially been announced, but could also be in this movie. So, like I said, Wong, Doctor Strange, Clea, maybe Storm, maybe Jean Grey. I can't think of anybody else that's kind of like, that hasn't been announced. But who knows who's going to show up in this goddamn movie? Ain't no telling. Akuma said, bring back Sorter. She said, but Doom will have all of the sorcery power. They said Doom is gonna, I ain't gonna say he gonna have all the sorcery power, but he's supposed to be a sorcerer in this. He might win, but still, let's see some of the witches get busy. Dang. All right, next question. The next question says, does Magneto have any major interactions with non-X-Men characters in Doomsday? Alex says he does. It's more of a group thing, though. There's no individual character or interaction that particularly stands out. So we have already heard rumors that there's going to be a huge fight at the X-Mansion. Well, let's don't even say rumors. I saw the trailer for Doomsday, and yeah, man, they're going to be fighting in that mansion. So when Alex says that Magneto doesn't have like a particular interaction with one person, I think it's because everybody's just going to be goddamn fighting. I think everybody just going to be fighting. And I think some people are not going to survive the fight. And that would suck for Magneto just to die. But yeah, it's probably going to happen. Magneto and Professor X are probably goners. They probably ain't gonna make it. I don't know if they're gonna die in the fight. I don't know if their Earth is on the pathway to get struck by an incursion. I don't know. But damn, we got to see Professor X die again. Y'all don't talk about T'Challa dying. I don't think nobody done died more than Professor X. Professor X, they be killing him. They literally be killing him. All right. So the next question says, other than Xavier, any other interesting interactions that Bob has with other characters in Doomsday? Alex says Yelena. Yelena is Bob's person, and if what I heard is true, a certain occasion. So yeah, sounds like there may be some interactions between Bob, Yelena, and Gambit. You know, that would make sense. Celebrity Docket said Jean Grey would be unexpected and a treat. Yeah, could be. All right. What we got next? All right. So the next question is, can you tease us with something that you're really excited to see in Doomsday and Secret Wars that a lot of people don't know? And Alex says, even though he's not in the movie, he who remains, and we'll leave it at that. All right. So what I'll say is, I think we got a 50-50 chance of Kang showing up, only because I think these movies are going to be full of fan service. I think if there's a way they can squeeze Jonathan in and not face backlash, they may try to do it. I also think they may say, but do we really need him? Like, is it really worth the risk? So I think it's like a 50-50 chance that we could see Kang. Now, what I believe he means when he says he who remains will win, and this has always been my personal speculation, I believe when everything is over after Secret Wars and it just resets, everything goes back to normal for the most part. I think we're still going to have like different universes out there in the world. I think you're still going to have a main timeline. And that was the goal of He Who Remains. His whole goal was one sacred timeline. And I think when Secret Wars ends, we just finna go back to the one sacred timeline. Because He Who Remains, he was cool as long as you had that one sacred timeline. Yeah, other timelines would get pruned. Some timelines, he would let them run astray as long as they didn't start to affect like the current timeline much. So that's what I think he means when he says, when it's all said and done, he who remains wins. Because at the end of the day, when everything starts over, you still just going to have one main universe, and there's still going to be other universes out there. The multiverse does not like go away after Secret Wars. Like, there's not going to be just one universe. There's still going to be multiple universes. It's just you're going to have a lot of people from those other universes now on the sacred timeline, like the Fantastic Four, like wherever these new XMen are coming from. We don't goddamn know. So that's what I think he means when he says he who remains ends up winning. My opinion. Lauren said, he not coming back. Celebrity Doctor said, remember that Coy interview on red carpets with him and Megan? Yeah, that was kind of interesting because Megan was kind of like, she was kind of like giving it away a little bit. Celebrity Doctor says, I'm hoping he gets to come back. I would be a major MCU stan again. Right now, I'm lukewarm. Yeah, let the man finish his story out. But a part of me don't want him to come back just to get beat up either. Like, don't bring him back just to beat him up. I'd rather just let me go. Don't bring me back to beat me up. Don't do that. All right. Next topic. Let's talk about the Black Panther. All right. We're going to pivot real quick, and we're going to come back to the Q&A. We're going to pivot real quick. Let me make myself abundantly clear, okay? I don't consider myself a scooper, okay? I'm not calling around every day trying to get tea. The people that I know in this game are real people with real jobs. So I'm not on the phone every day trying to get information. But when I know some information and I tell y'all the information, it's from a reliable source. Okay, when I tell y'all I done heard something, you better believe most of the time it's right on the money. Most of the time, all right? So for the past few years, I'll randomly say it. I'll be like, hey, man, Antoine Fuqua was one of the first directors that Nate Moore and Kevin Feige was looking at for Black Panther. This was something I'm 1,000% sure on, all right? And when I say it, for some reason, people don't believe me because they can't find any information on it. So let me pull this Twitter user up. Me and T'Challa, the Black Panther facts. Let me see if I can get him pulled up here. Hold on. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to share my screen so y'all can see this. All right. So, me and the Black Panther facts on Twitter. I think his name is Ekai0. So he put up a post and he was like, director Antoine Fuqua would take Marvel's Black Panther to the next level, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, Fuqua didn't want to do it. He had it at first, then it went to Ava DuVernay, then Coogler. And he was like, what's your source? I only remember Ava being the first choice, then her turning it down, recommending Coogler for some reason. And I was like, my source is trust me, bro. I was like, my source is trust me, bro. And the reason I say that is y'all don't know these people. So if I tell y'all who the source is, y'all don't know them. Like if I tell y'all it was Bob the barber who cuts Antoine Fuqua's hair, you ain't gonna know who Bob the barber is. So when I say like, trust me, bro, think about it. Think about it this way. Y'all know Dre Mack, right? Y'all know Dre Mack over on YouTube. I know Dre Mack. Let's say Dre Mack was not a YouTuber, right? Let's just say Dre Mack was my homeboy. I could come in and say, hey, y'all, I heard Jonathan Majors has a movie coming out. And y'all might be like, well, how y'all know? And I say, my homeboy Dre. Y'all wouldn't know who the hell Dre is. But that would be a source for me because Dre is cool with Jonathan Majors. So when I say, like, I know people, I can't tell y'all who the people are. Y'all ain't gonna know who the hell the goddamn people are. So anyway, he was like, what did he say? He said, yeah, I mean, you know, it's just weird that there's no reports of this offer. You know, he was like, all true, this is my first choice, so it's odd that we wouldn't have seen a single report of this offer. So I say that to say, let me take this down. And this was no shade at him. I just wanted y'all to kind of see our conversation. Hold on, let me pull it up. But yeah, he was pretty much like, yeah, I mean, it's just weird that there's no report of this offer. He pretty much like, how you the only person who know about this? Why nobody else ain't talked about this? And I'm like, I can't help it if nobody else has publicly talked about it. I just know what I was told from someone extremely close to the situation. Fuqua was one of the first ones that they met with, and Fuqua declined. They wasn't gonna let him kind of get busy like he wanted to. And I'm like, y'all Black Panther fans, like, y'all live in this like T'Challa bubble where y'all feel like everything kind of revolves around T'Challa. And I say that to say, you got to think back to 2014, 2015, when this project was just going into development and they were just tossing ideas around. Think back then. Black Panther was not a household name. Like, yeah, comic book fans and people who watched the cartoons growing up, they knew about who T'Challa, but he was not like a staple in pop culture where people knew about him enough to even really care to give scoops or to put out reports that they're looking at a person for the job. So the general public, people at these publications, they're not trying to get information about a Black comic book movie back in 2013, 2014. So yeah, you can't find an article talking about it. Yeah, we're in 2026. Some of these publications still don't care to report on Black content. You think they cared 10 years ago to report on it? Look how they did Coogler when Sinners came out. So I'm like, hey man, it ain't my fault that you can't find an article confirming what I know. I just know what I know from a reliable source. So you know what I did? I say, you know what? I got to get on this internet and I got to find something that says that Antoine Fuqua met with Marvel. I said, if it kills me, I am going to find it. I said, I am going to search the internet until I find something. And voila, magic. I found it. I found it.
Of your films have had that kind of have been action orientated across your career, but how do you reckon? Because I think it seems like a really difficult, quite overwhelming proposition to the superhero movies, for example. Is that ever doing those kind of really big Marvel type films? Has that ever been anything that has interested you to one day try your hand at something as kind of huge with a machine as kind of big as that?
Yeah. I mean, I've been approached about it. My agent's always talking to me about it. I'll probably take some meetings soon and talk to those guys about it. You know, I'm just exploring it. It's interesting. It has to be the right thing. It's so successful that for me, it has to be the right one in the right situation, right? Because there's so much visual effects going on there. Like, where's the director in it all? And I just need to understand it, because it's like management really, right? Because they have a machine, they got people, it's design, there's a whole thing sketched out and storyboards. Is that, because I don't know, is that director doing that, or is like 100 other people doing it with them, and then they hand you? I'm not used to that sort of thing, so I don't know where I fit in that world.
So you have been approached in the past. Oh, cool.
Well, yeah. Sony asked me to do Morbius.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a meeting with Kevin soon. Just talking in general, you know. I think he's doing an amazing job. It's an incredible business. Black Panther people used to always ask me about that years ago about that, but at the time it wasn't ready, and they picked the right guy for that. I wasn't right for that, so you know.
Ladies and
There you go. There you go. There you go. And that's no shade to homeboy on Twitter, because every time I bring Antoine Fuqua up, people will be like, where you hear that from? Well, I ain't never heard that. I don't think you telling the truth. And I'm like, I know what I know. So there you have it. Antoine Fuqua himself said, hey, they came to me for Black Panther. I ain't want to do it. They picked the right person for it. So if y'all ever start talking about was Antoine Fuqua ever involved with possibly doing Black Panther, you have proof there. You can jump back to the stream, cut that video up, and send it to everybody and say, yeah, we finally got some proof that Antoine Fuqua was in the running for Black Panther. So I'm probably gonna send this to old boy on Twitter, because I don't want people to feel like I be lying or blowing smoke. I be knowing stuff sometimes. Now, I never knew that Sony approached him for Morbius. That was new. Good instinct to turn that down. Good job on that. I had never heard that one before, but it sounds like even after the meeting with Black Panther, they were still meeting with him for other things, because this interview is taking place in 2018 after Black Panther came out, because he said in the interview, hey man, they picked the right guy for it. He did a great job. So it sounds like they were meeting with him even after Black Panther. It could have probably been for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, maybe Cap 4 with Sam. You know, I'm just kind of speculating. But yo, I think it's just crazy that Antoine Fuqua was trying to get away from being micromanaged. That's why he didn't want to do Black Panther, just to take the Michael movie and have Michael's estate breathing down his goddamn neck. Shout out to Antoine Fuqua though. But yeah, now y'all got y'all proof. If you come back to this stream and clip it up and say, hey, this is proof that Antoine Fuqua was in conversations with Black Panther, he declined it. He didn't want to do it. He wasn't feeling that shit. And it went to Ava DuVernay. Ava DuVernay got knee deep in it. She moonwalked out. She was like, nah, I don't want to do this. And then Ryan Coogler gets it. So that's the story. Now, was it other people in between that? That's a possibility. But those are the three people that I had always heard, even back in the day. Fuqua, DuVernay, Coogler. Maybe it was other people, but that's what I heard. All right. So let's get back to the Q&A. Hold on, let me check to see if y'all got anything. Celebrity Doctor said, ooh, I love some sleuthing. I had to dig hard to find that video. I'm like, somebody done talked about this somewhere. I got to find it. Look, because even if I brought on the person who told me, y'all still would be like, we need some receipts. Like, we don't believe this person. So I had to, so now y'all got some receipts that it happened. She said, hopefully he can take off the franchise after Ryan finishes his dumbass story. I don't think Antoine Fuqua likes the Marvel system. I don't think especially after like what he's dealing with Michael, they said the Michael estate is kind of really breathing down his neck. I don't think he would fit with Marvel. I don't think he would fit, because Antoine Fuqua likes to kind of have his space and he likes to, do his thing. When you put constrictions on somebody like Antoine Fuqua, you don't get the best out of him. So I don't think he would be a good fit for Marvel. DC, maybe DC, let him do Jon Stewart, maybe Static, let him rock out over there with DC. I don't know if he can fit in the Marvel the way Kevin Feige does stuff. I don't think he could fit. All right, let's take a look at the next question in the Q&A. All right, so somebody said, will we get to see Shuri and Reed interact over science incursions in the multiverse in Doomsday? And Alex P says, yes, definitely. Not just them necessarily, though. My word of warning is that it could be slightly confusing to the average viewer because there are different interpretations of the same things depending on who's being asked to explain what incursions in the multiverse is. Reed, Sue, Shuri, Beast, the TVA, and Monica have more of an explanation rooted in science. Thor and Loki have an explanation rooted in magic. Steve has one rooted in experience, but Doom has one that incorporates them all. So I think an interesting way to kind of look at Doomsday is when we start dealing with heroes and incursions, everybody is going to be coming from these things with different perspectives on what's really happening. You got Reed, Sue, Shuri, Beast, TVA, Monica, all of them are approaching it through science. They're trying to understand like the mechanics of what's happening to the multiverse and why these worlds are collided. Then you got Thor and Loki. They understand this situation through magic, through mythology, cosmic forces, concepts that go like beyond science. They're thinking about it in a higher evolution way because we got to think about it. Thor is a god. Thor is a god, so he has a different level of thinking when it comes to certain things. Now, they said Steve Rogers brings something different to the table. His perspective isn't rooted in science or magic. It's rooted in experience. Now, we have heard rumors that Steve Rogers may be the cause of an incursion, so that could be like the experience that he has. But then there's Dr. Doom. Here's what makes Doom so dangerous. If they do him right. He's one of the few characters in Marvel who can stand in all of these worlds. He's a scientist. You know, him and Reed be butting heads about science. He's a sorcerer. Depending on where he's at in his story in life, he's a master of the mystic arts. I don't know how deep we getting into that. I mean, He's supposed to be a ruler. Is he a ruler? Does he have a Latveria that he rules over? Maybe we'll see. So Doom is the person who kind of takes all of these things and mixes them up into one. And he's the person who feels like all of y'all are dumb. Doom be like, don't none of y'all know what y'all talking about. I'm the only person who knows. I'm the only person who could fix this. And I'm the only one who's going to figure out exactly what's going on. So that's what makes everything interesting about all this. You're going to have a bunch of different perspectives on how do we fix this issue? Who's right? Who's wrong? You got your team of scientists over here telling you this is what we should be doing. And then you got Dr. Doom who like, I don't care about what y'all talking about. We're going to do what I want to do. We're going to do what I want to do. Now, as far as Shuri is concerned, she's a scientist. Reed's a scientist. We heard last year that Reed and Shuri would be working together to help get the incursion solved. We see in the trailer a meeting between Shuri and Ben Grimm. Now, I have seen the full trailer, and it's the whole Fantastic Four team that she's meeting, plus the new Avengers. So this is just my theory. I don't know. You know, we don't know. This is just my theory. We know that Sam and Bucky have a relationship with Wakanda. Sam has vibranium wings. Bucky spent some time in Wakanda. So it's possible that the movie opens up, Fantastic Four show up, they meet the Thunderbolts, and they begin to tell them, you know, what's going on. Maybe Bucky and Sam is like, hey, man, this is above my pay grade, this science shit, this incursion stuff. Let's call Wakanda. They got some good tech. Let's go over there and meet and have a conversation with Shuri. Maybe she can help. My theory is I think they all go to meet Shuri. They tell her what's going on. I think they all agree, like, let's go to this other universe and talk to them and see if we can figure this out. And we can also bring Monica back home. Maybe we can get this figured out civilly. I think when they get there, it's hostile and a fight breaks out between them and the X-Men. That's just my theory. Because when it comes down to Doom being the bad guy, where does he fit in that X-Men universe situation? You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm a little confused on. Because if that X-Men universe ends up getting blown up by an incursion and everybody who survives makes it back to 616, that's obviously how you get Shuri, Monica, Reed, and Beast all in a lab trying to figure things out. So we know everybody from the X-Men universe ain't gonna die. But then you got another team on a completely different mission. It sounds like Thor and Captain America, they going to find Loki. Then you got another team trying to track Doom down and fight him. It's a lot. It's a lot going on. Maybe it's going to be kind of similar to Infinity War, where you have them kind of like grouped off and split off doing different things. Now, the Russos did an interview recently, and they said this movie is going to be very different. It's going to be a very different movie. So I think a lot of us kind of fall into the trap mindset that this movie is going to be like in Infinity War, where they are grouped off and they try to beat the bad guy and then Doom wins in the end. Alex P said something very interesting a while ago. He said, when we get to the middle of the movie, it feels like it's the end. So I have a theory that maybe Doom creates Battle World in the middle of this movie. And maybe the Avengers, they lose very early on. And then the last half of the movie is us seeing Battle World and seeing all these different fractions separated off. You know, you got the Hulks over there in their world. You got the little Wakanda type situation with the new Black Panther. You got a zombies world. So this is what they could be cooking. Because Alex P said, y'all think the movie gonna be over, but we really gonna be halfway there. And then the movie picks back up. So, you know, who knows? But as far as all of these scientists, you know, working together to figure it out, I mean, I think it's going to be dope. Now, I know S. Jaddix, I'm not looking at the chat, but I have a feeling S. Jaddix is probably in there losing his mind that Shuri going to be doing science stuff with Reed. But S. Jaddix, this is just what we got. I don't know. This is just what we got, S. Jaddix. First thing I see, Shuri and Reed interact. Yuck, how dare she stand where T'Challa is supposed to stand? Oh. Oh, y'all are crazy. Nisha says, do we know how many parts they're going to break this movie up in? Because it feels like it can't all fit into one. It has to be at least 2 movies for Doomsday. No, Nisha, we just getting Doomsday and Secret Wars. She said, why would they get Doom right when they ain't even got everyone else right? I don't know. The Magician, why is you 3 hours late? Thanks for showing up, friend. It's Jaddix said, I would assume Doom is doing his own side project while everyone else fights. Maybe X-Men versus Avengers is when Doom, yeah. Let's see. Celebrity Docket says, I feel like I'm going to be relying on creators to explain after the movie because it's so convoluted. It's been a while. I'm so rusty on the MCU and how it works. Yeah, man. I think we all going to be trying to figure this movie out. For sure. All right. Next topic. All right, so the next question, someone says, Doomsday seems to have a focus on the children of many of the heroes with Franklin Richards, James Rogers, Love, and Cassie Lane all confirmed to appear, and I suspect there's a thematic connection across all of them. Are there any heroes' children we can expect, like T'Challa Jr., John Walker's kids, or the Bartons in Doomsday? Alex Perez says, not in Doomsday. All right, so that's the key word. He put an emphasis on not in Doomsday. So I really don't know how to take this because the Scoopers were saying last year that T'Challa Jr. was going to be in Doomsday or Secret Wars, and he's going to be aged up. Or he's an aged up variant from another universe, some kind of weird, wimey-timey stuff. And I always thought that sounded so weird, so convoluted, but you just never know with Marvel. Like, what? But Alex P was very specific in saying, no, he's not going to be in Doomsday. So he kind of was leaving room that maybe T'Challa Jr. is in Secret Wars. I don't know what they're doing with TJ. I don't know what they're doing with Toussaint. I have no idea. I'm just reading the Q&A. I have not asked anybody about T'Challa Jr. I don't know what's going on with little TJ. But yeah, Alex P says he is not in Doomsday. He made it seem like he might be in Secret Wars, but not Doomsday. Lauren said, I'm still trying to figure out where they going with no setup. I don't know. Lauren said Cassie is in Doomsday. Yeah, that's what the guy said. He said we already know that Cassie, Franklin Richards, James Rogers, and Love are in Doomsday. But he was like, what about the other kids like T'Challa Jr., John Walker, or Hawkeye's kids? And he said not in Doomsday. So I don't know. As Jaddock says, this makes me interested. Don't Shuri say everyone she has ever loved is dead? So does Wakanda get like nuked? I don't know. We haven't heard a lot about Wakanda. And what is shown in the trailer is it looks like Shuri is meeting Namor where Namor is. I don't know. I don't know about Wakanda getting nuked. That would be crazy. All right. So this is the last topic, and then we're going to get up out of here. All right. So let's talk about the new Black Panther rumors. All right, so somebody asked Alex P., the scooper, he said, is the plan for Secret Wars to still introduce Shuri and T'Challa's multiversal grandfather, T'Chanda, like the Leak concept art showed? He says, I cannot comment on this, but I know that they're actively looking for the next Black Panther as we speak, and there are a couple names that have been thrown around. John David Washington and Damson Idris are some top contenders. Another is Lakeith Stanfield, but he's being looked at for something else down the pipeline, not Black Panther related, something bluer. Now, when I saw this line up here of potential Black Panthers, Lakeith Stanfield, John David Washington, and Damson Idris, I was like,
hell no. Hey, fuck no. Fuck no.
What? Why is we looking at Lakeith Stanfield and John David Washington for Black Panther? What are we doing? Let's rewind. Let's go back to the beginning. What they say in Spider-Verse, how they rewind it in Spider-Verse. Let's go back. Let's rewind a couple years. All right. So for y'all that don't know, last year, some concept art leaked, and it had pictures of a Black Panther variant that, in my opinion, was the likeness of Damson Idris. Now, the good brother Darius over at the Planet Fanatics channel said he was told summer of 2024 that Marvel was looking at Damson Idris to possibly be a Black Panther. All right. January 2025, I called some of my peoples up, very reliable people, and they told me a couple names. They told me Damson Idris, John Boyega, and David Oyelowo. Those were the three people. I was told Damson met with Marvel, DC, and Gina Prince by the Wood for Children of Blood and Bone. I was told Damson Idris was looking for something a little long term. They gave Aaron Pierre the DC role, and Marvel was still up in the air on if they could give Damson something long term, because at the time, Coogler was doing his own thing, working on centers, handling his personal life, and that this role they were currently looking for a variant. I was told, he said, hey man, I'm gonna take Children of Blood and Bone because that could be something that's a 1 to 3 movie deal. What happens? A couple months later, or maybe a week or a couple weeks later, Damson Idris was announced as Prince Enon in Children of Blood and Bone. That's what I told y'all. As soon as I told y'all about it, a couple weeks later, Variety reports Damson Idris has been cast in Children of Blood and Bone. I told y'all that's where he was going. Then a couple months after that, the concept art leaks, and I said, wow. To me, he looks like Damson Idris. A couple months after that, Damson Idris is on his press run for F1, and they ask him, hey, Damson, have you met with the folks with Marvel? And he was like, yes, no. He kind of playing games. Now, the Damson Idris thing is very interesting to me because I was told he passed because he wanted to do Children of Blood and Bone. Y'all call me back when y'all get Coogler on the line. I want to see what he working with. Maybe something long term. Y'all call me when y'all talk to Coogler. I don't know about this variant situation, but his name keeps floating around. His name kind of keeps floating around. And I don't know if it's because we put it in the ether. And so that's why it keeps floating around. Now, Geeky Cast, he's been on the channel. Me and him have talked, and he said his source is very reliable. Geeky Cast told me he 1000% believes that Damson Idris is going to be in either Doomsday or Secret Wars. I called my people, and they was like, we ain't hearing nothing solid on Damson. We not hearing nothing like 1000% on him. I talked to someone really close to the situation, and this person was like, if it was him, I would know. This person was like, I'm not going to completely rule it out, but where we stand at right now, that's not what I'm hearing. Now, I talked to this person, what are we in, June? I think the last time I talked to them was like February, March. I haven't followed up since then. So I don't know about this Damson situation. He has been the head of the conversation when we're talking about Black Panther. Now, let's throw somebody else in the game. Whatever the variant situation is they got going on, y'all remember, they also offered this same role to Aaron Pierre. They offered this same role to Aaron Pierre. 3 people confirmed this. Jeff Snyder, My Time to Shine Hello, and Daniel RPK. They said Aaron Pierre was offered the role to play this variant, and he declined it, and he took the Jon Stewart job at DC, which makes sense. Very similar to Damson Idris. Aaron Pierre probably signed a multi-picture deal with DC. He has the Lanterns TV show. He has the Superman movie. They already talking about doing a season 2 of Lanterns. And I guarantee you they're probably tossing around the idea of doing a Jon Stewart movie. So I say that to say a lot of people seem to not want to do this variant situation in Doomsday because nobody could guarantee these actors that this is going to be a role that's going to last and I'm going to be able to sit in this. Y'all are sitting down offering this role to people like, hey, we're guaranteeing you that you're going to be in Secret Wars or Doomsday, but after that we don't really know. We ain't talked to Coogler. So we now know for sure that Aaron Pierre passed. We know for sure he passed. 3 people have said it, and he's with DC, and he probably passed because they couldn't guarantee him nothing long term. It's kind of similar situation I heard with Damson. Everybody's kind of, waiting to see what is Coogler doing with Black Panther 3. Now, this brings us to the most recent news. We're hearing Damson again, Lakeith Stanfield, and John David Washington. Now, John David Washington, please God, no. Please God, no. Even if it's a variant, like, no. John David Washington, I'd rather you wait and be Blue Marvel. Be Blue Marvel. I'd rather see John David Washington as goddamn Bishop. He would be a small, short Bishop, but no, he don't need to be Black Panther at all. He don't need to be Black Panther at all. We gotta find something else for John David Washington to do, but it cannot be Black Panther. Jesus Christ. Which then brings me to Lakeith Stanfield. Lord, Lakeith, if you ever see this, please don't take it personal. I've met Lakeith a few times. No disrespect, Lakeith. No disrespect, but no, you Black Panther is not for you, boo. It's not. It's not. If I gotta pick between these 3 people, if these are my 3 choices, you got to give it to Damson Idris, and he's not even my top choice. If y'all know I'm team Aldous Hodge. I think Aldous Hodge should be the new Black Panther. Hell, I'm team Yolande Noel over Damson Idris. But if Damson Idris gets this role and it's his role and he's keeping it and he's staying with it, I'm supporting Nephew 1000%. But these other two, Lakeith Stanfield and John David Washington, why is they even a conversation? But I'm not surprised because these are the same people who offered Aaron Pierre this variant role and he turned it down. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Somebody in Marvel Studios pulled up a picture of Aaron Pierre and put it on a wall of potential people to be Black Panther, and they called that man in and offered him that role. Yeah, I believe they looking at Lakeith Stanfield and John David Washington. Yes, I think anything goes. That's why when y'all start talking about, man, they would never pick Cynthia Erivo to be Storm. These people offer Aaron Pierre the role of Black Panther. I think Cynthia could be Storm if you shit. Like anybody could be anything they want to be. Now for Lakeith. Lakeith. I like Lakeith. Lakeith is my dude. At the end of that little scoop that Alex P put up, he said there may be something bluer in Lakeith Stanfield's future. Now, when I hear blue, my first thought went to Blue Marvel. I was like, no, please. Not Blue Marvel. And let me say this. I think Lakeith Stanfield is one of the best actors in the game right now. He deserves more work. I think he is super talented, but Lakeith Stanfield needs a role that will fit to his style, and I don't think it's Blue Marvel. I just don't. Now, we do know that Lakeith is already in the Disney pipeline. He's done Disney projects. He's done a film or two with them. He's obviously met with Marvel before, because if y'all remember when Silver Surfer was officially announced, Lakeith had an outburst on social media and was like, dang, I thought that was going to be my role. So that tells me they were knee deep in conversations with Lakeith Stanfield, and he could have possibly been Silver Surfer. For him to do an outburst like that means they had to be having some real conversations. There's a lot of things you can say about Lakeith Stanfield, but I believe he was truly shocked when he got that, when that role was announced. Lakeith Stanfield is a lot of things, but he's not someone who gets on the internet and really trolls like that. He be trolling, I'm not gonna say he don't troll, but he don't troll like that. So that tells me that there's already been some meetings with Marvel with Lakeith Stanfield. So I'm not surprised that his name is in the conversation somewhere, but Blue Marvel and T'Challa, no. No. Then somebody brought it to my attention, and it was like, well, he could be Beast or Nightcrawler. And then I was like, no. I was like, no. But then my dumb ass, I sat back and I thought about it, and I was like, wait. Y'all might be on to something. Nightcrawler is such a cool character to me, and the first thing that came to my mind was Nightcrawler is German. Then I was like, but it's black folks in Germany. Then I was like, you know what? Lakeith could pull off Nightcrawler. I was like, okay. I see it now. I see it. I could see Lakeith playing a German mutant who's tapped into religion. I'm like, yeah, he probably could do Nightcrawler. I think Lakeith could bring a particular style and flair to Nightcrawler. So I had to moonwalk out of that. I was denying it for a bit. Then I was like, okay, I can see it. Then I started thinking about Beast. I was like, Hank McCoy in human form, he don't really have to be big and buff, because in X-Men First Class, Nicholas Hoult plays Beast. And that's the guy who's playing Lex Luthor. So when I started to think about it and become more open, I'm like, Lakeith could be a scientist. I think he could pull that off. I think Lakeith can play nerdy, geeky scientist. I think so. Now, if I had to pick a role for Lakeith, personally, I would go with Brother Voodoo. That's just me. And let me tell y'all a little secret. I heard he wants to be Brother Voodoo. He look Haitian to me. I think he can pull it off. But nah, man. Brother Voodoo is one of like Marvel's most powerful magic users. All right? Like, yes, I think Lakeith could do this. Like, Brother Voodoo can do like magic casting, spirit communications, like possessions, exorcisms, all types of stuff. Yes. Bring Brother Voodoo in. Brother Voodoo is heavily connected to spirits, the soul, and mystical traditions of Haiti. Yes, Lakeith look Haitian. He could do it. Let him be Brother Voodoo. And if we're doing like a Midnight Suns movie, like, come on, man. Yeah, come on, man. Let's bring Brother Voodoo into the MCU. We already got 2 songs. He from Haiti. Wonder Man is from Haiti. Just bring the real Haitian character to the goddamn screen. Like, let Brother Voodoo in and let Lakeith do it. He would nail that role. So he should not be in anybody's conversation for Black Panther. I can see why they were possibly looking at him for Silver Surfer. I could see him doing Silver Surfer. But Brother Voodoo is who I think Lakeith should be. He want to do it. Marvel need to stop running away from magic. Bring the sorcerers in. Like, what they running away from supernatural for? Let the man be Brother Voodoo. Damn. That was my rant. I'm done now. Celebrity Docket said, this is my trigger. I don't like the replacing T'Challa conversation. She said, I don't like none of these choices. Torian said, good evening, Tina. What up, Torian? Jadik says, Damson is the best by far of these options. John David is too old, too short, and not a good enough actor. Damn. Lauren said, none of them look like T'Challa, especially not Lakeith. That's Brother Voodoo. Yeah. Yeah. Celebrity Docket said, I wouldn't be mad at Damson. I would give him a chance if he's just very likable. So could be a good choice for all that don't replace T'Challa people like me. Dan the Man said, just in the nick of time. So DC and Marvel approached Aaron and Damson and both ended up getting the roles that was offered to the other one. So it sounds like Marvel. So you gotta remember the history of Aaron Pierre. Aaron Pierre has already been in Disney. Aaron Pierre has already done Disney projects. Aaron Pierre was Malcolm X on Hulu. He was in Blade, and he was in Mufasa. So Aaron Pierre is already in the pipeline. I do think they approached him for T'Challa. I don't think DC approached Aaron Pierre. I think Jon Stewart went up, and it was an open casting call, and actors went out for it. And I think James Gunn made the right decision, colorism aside, that I'm going to take the hottest actor. He was smoking hot. I'm taking him. So I don't think DC like offered him the role. I think everybody still had the audition. He just kind of took it out. Free Spirit said, Team Aldous or Damson. Jadik said, Lakeith will be a good Nightcrawler. The Magician said, this is laughable. The whole thing, just making this so hard. Lauren said they fumbled him for Silver Surfer. They might bring it back, man. He could still do it. She said he too tall for Nightcrawler. Do Nightcrawler gotta be short? Do he gotta be short? Do he really gotta be short? Pierre said, you forget X-Men will be young in their 20s. He's almost 40. You're right. Magician said he could pull off Nightcrawler. Akuma says Lakeith is too young for Blue Marvel. He should never be Blue Marvel. I'm not even gonna say he's too young. He's just not Blue Marvel. I don't want to see nobody. listen, if we're going to do Blue Marvel and he's going to have a relationship with Monica, I don't want no weird age gap. They got to figure that out. Now, if they say he not going to have a relationship with Monica, yeah, you can make him an elder. But if they going to try to walk them lines of a relationship, I don't want to see no old man being Blue Marvel. I don't want to see nobody who's 60 years old kissing on Tiana Parrish. I don't want to see her kissing her daddy. Let's don't do that. Dan the Man said, Brother Voodoo, his brother died in the first Doctor Strange movie, so he should have been introduced already. Yeah, like, come on, man. Sanju says Damson as Nightcrawler. Okay, that's interesting. As Jaddock said, James Gunn said he almost cast Aaron Pierre as Adam Warlock, so he was on Gunn's radar for sure. Dan the Man said, for sure, I thought Damson was in the running for Jon Stewart. He was in the running, but Dan the Man, you an actor. What we talking about? He was in the running, but you know it's a difference between a studio calling you and say, I got this offer for you. It's yours. Versus, you know, you got to audition. So from what I remember for Jon Stewart, it was Damson Idris, Aaron Pierre. What was the other guy? Who kind of edged Damson out? Jon Stewart auditions. I'm going blank on his name. Who was the other guy, y'all? He was in that. Oh, I'm going blank. I can't think of his name. I'm going blank. But yeah, they were auditioning. Lawrence said Monica like them old. We not doing that, Lawrence. I don't care what she like. Lawrence said Miss Tina ex-husband should play Blue Marvel. I feel like he don't move good enough. Blue Marvel still got a little spunk in him still. Richard Lawson, he moved like he a little elder. Mr. Lawson ain't got enough spunk. Like somebody said, if we're gonna go older, like I could see Michael Jai White. Michael Jai White still can move a little bit. Dan the Man said, I'm saying Damson got T'Challa and Aaron got John when the roles were offered to the other. I don't know if Damson got T'Challa. That's what Geeky Cast said. Geeky Cast, and once again, we don't know if he's T'Challa. He could just be a variant. We don't know. Geeky Cast said Damson has this role. Alex P said they still looking for people. But Geeky Cast says he has a plug right in the mix, and he knows for sure that Damson has this role. I don't know. Dan the Man said Damson got to trust in Geeky. I'm not going to talk about Geeky behind his back. Pierre Campbell says, looks like Marvel is looking for actors and actresses who already work in the Disney family for Marvel roles. Yeah, they keep it in the family. It ain't even just Marvel. It's Star Wars, too. Disney likes to keep their people in, and I don't blame them. If you get somebody who's good, yeah, you want to keep them in the family. As Jaddock says, Sterling K. Brown would be a good Blue Marvel. I don't know. Lauren said Geeky be lying. I ain't saying Geeky be lying. I ain't gonna say that. I'm not gonna say he be lying, but I'm like, you know, I done pressed him a little bit. I'm like, bro, you for sure. He's like, Tina, I'm for sure. We'll see, though. And what I will say about this Black Panther thing, I think it's fluid. I think the concept art, it said T'Chanda. That's what the concept art said. But they're on the internet. They could see people saying, nah, man, we want T'Challa. Make this person T'Challa. They could change it, and it could be a variant T'Challa. The question is, if it's a variant T'Challa, do you then call Coogler and say, Coogler, we bringing in this variant T'Challa. He coming from the XMen universe. This is the guy we keeping. I know you done wrote Black Panther 3, but you need to go back, remix this. We done hired Damson Idris. He gonna be your guy. I don't know. I don't know if you have that conversation. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that would have to be, it feels like, from everything that I've heard, that this is a singular situation. And then Ryan Coogler got his own situation going on. It don't seem like this is a partnership. It don't seem like Ryan Coogler is like, yeah, pick Damson. I'm on the phone with Damson. Damson, when you get finished with Secret Wars, then we doing Black Panther. That don't seem like what's going on. We could be wrong. We just speculating. We have not seen anything that lines those things up. It just seems like they looking for a variant to damn send that variant back off when it's all said and done. Akuma says, I think Coleman Domingo would be a good Blue Marvel. I want Coleman to be like a villain. I don't want Coleman to be a good guy. He plays villain so good. Dan the Man said, I don't think continuity matters, big dog. I don't think it matters either, child. I don't know. That's all I got for today. That's it. I was so hot when I saw that John David Washington and Lakeith Stanfield was in talks, or not in talks, that they was looking at them for Black Panther. I'm like, why? Why are we looking at Lakeith Stanfield and John David Washington? Why? I got so mad. I was like, why are we doing this? Lawrence said a Black Norman Osborn would be nice. Yeah, let Coleman Domingo be Norman. He already doing it. Just let him do it. Let him rock out. Yeah, let him rock out. As Jaddock said, execs be clueless. They do. They really do. Good show, y'all. 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's almost midnight my time. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. Oh, and you know what? I haven't talked about Interview with the Vampire on the stream because I've been doing like separate videos, but we gonna keep this on the low. Y'all don't tell nobody, but I got something coming for y'all Tuesday. If y'all are Interview with the Vampire fans, make sure you have your notifications on Tuesday. Got something for y'all. As Jaddock said, John David and Cynthia as T'Challa and Aurora. I would be so mad. I wouldn't be mad. I would just be like, who made this decision? Cynthia Erivo would overpower John David Washington as like acting prowess. Like she would act circles around him. That would be so bad. Lawrence said, you got an interview. I do not have an interview. I was offered to do interviews. I did get an offer to do an interview, but I was like, nah, y'all don't be watching my interviews. So I told the folks at AMC, I'm like, nah, I don't want to do no interview. But I don't know if y'all have seen the actress who's playing D Farmer. Dang, I can't say too much. We gonna check back. We gonna check back. I can't say too much. Tuesday. We're gonna have a good conversation. Tuesday. Oh, she just gave me $10. We just got a super chat.
Shout out to the super chat. Shout out to the super chat. Shout out to the super chat. Shout out to the super chat. Thanks for supporting. I like that. I like that. I like that. Thanks for supporting. I like that.
Thank you for y'all for sending super chats. I really, really appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it. I do. I appreciate y'all. I tell y'all, anytime y'all send me super chats, I just put it right back into the business. You know what I'm saying? As Jaddock said, it was fun, Tina, now to watch Spider-Man Noir. I got to finish it, too. I think I'm going to go watch that tonight. The Magician said, what? I watch your interviews. Magician, I know you would, but anytime I've done interviews in the past, they only get like 100 views. So I'm like, I'm not even going to be wasting these people's time doing interviews. I'm like, I ain't going to do that. Lauren said he would throw up if he had to kiss Cynthia. Don't do her. Cynthia looked like she putting her weight back on. You know what I'm saying? She getting back healthy. I don't know what they had going on Wicked. Everybody was small on Wicked, but she looked like she putting her weight back on. Torian said Tina is blowing up on TikTok. She about to be famous. We charge her for autographs real soon. I never want to be famous. I'm cool where I'm at. I don't want to be famous. S. Jaddick said Tuesday is a good day. NBA finals start Friday. I'm not going to go live Tuesday. I'm dropping a video Tuesday. If you watch Interview with the Vampire, I got a video coming up Tuesday. Got a video coming up. Lauren said they snorting no Zempic and Pixie Sticks. I don't know what they had going on. They don't even do that no more. But yeah, man, I thank y'all for hanging out. We had a good old Marvel stream. I love when we get Marvel news. What month are we in? June? We should be getting a lot more Spider-Man news. And I think y'all know when I came out of CinemaCon and everybody was like, the Doomsday trailer's coming. I was like, y'all, that trailer ain't coming to probably Comic-Con. And I think that's what it's looking like. I don't think we're going to get a Doomsday trailer anytime soon. But yeah, man, y'all got a good almost 3 hours out of me. I'm burnt out. Can't talk no more. I appreciate everybody for coming in. Thank you for everybody who sent super chats. I really appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for commenting in the chat. And if y'all are on the replay gang, man, leave comments. Let me know y'all was here. And if you like Interview with the Vampire Lestat, make sure y'all support those videos. But other than that, y'all, I'm gonna get up out of here.
Man, I love being black. I love y'all.